Welcome to the Onyx Pathcast. I'm your host, Dixie Cochran, here with Matthew Dawkins.
Hello.
And Eddy Webb. Yeah. I'm trying to sound like chipper, but...
It's hard right now.
Everyone knows what it's like right now.
Well, I'll tell you something to be chipper about.
Okay.
Yes.
Technocracy Reloaded is currently on Kickstarter, and as of time of recording, has just passed $100,000.
Yeah, in like a day?
Yeah, it funded in 45
under a day.
minutes. Yeah, funded in 45 minutes, and then under a day has passed 100k, which is, frankly, I don't mind admitting, pleasantly surprising. I mean, everyone knows the Technocracy are very popular, but launching a Kickstarter during the current global situation was always a bit of a risk. And it's also a source book for another game, not to diminish the quality of content in Technocracy Reloaded, but I had no idea it would be so successful so fast. So.
No, I mean, I think it is perfectly fair to recognize the market forces in the sense that supplements sell less than core books. That's just the reality of our business and has been for decades. How much less depends on the individual products and the environment and whatnot, blah, blah. But consistently, if you stack up sales of a core book versus sales of the supplement's going to be reduced.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the fact that this is doing extremely well is genuinely surprising. And you're right. It's not at all an admission or even a concern about the quality or the team involved or anything, but rather just the simple fact that this is a source book. And so the fact that people are so excited about Technocracy is really, really heartening. And like I said, in this particular environment where everyone's having to save some money, the fact that so many people are really putting a lot into this and are just genuinely pleased to do so is a relief, honestly.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, we've all seen a lot of people taking to role-playing online. You've obviously spoken to the Gehenna Gaming crew following Virtual HorrorCon, and lots more people are tuning into our Twitch channel as well to watch our actual play, so that's nice. And, of course, we will be back soon with the Scion actual play. In fact, I'm sure... Are
you segueing?
In fact, I'm about to. In fact, no, let's segue. Let's segue now. I think that was a perfect time, and now that I've highlighted it so much, the segue is slipping through my fingers like
oh
grains
no,
of
we're
sand
trapped on a roundabout.
on the beach. Yeah,
we're just trapped on a roundabout forever, like Mr. Bean. Yeah. So segue. I know a lot of folks read the Monday Meeting blog and assume they know what our episode will be about because Rich usually announces it. This week, they're half right. I think we said we were coming back with the next part of our Scion actual play, but due to time constraints and waves hand vaguely outside, the global pandemic.
Quick, get your hand back inside.
My hand is at least 6 feet from any other hands that might be
6
around.
feet from your body.
Yes. I don't think that's possible.
Mr. Fantastic.
Unless I detach it. Anyway, because of what's going on this week, we have decided instead to stitch together the first few bits of our Scion actual play as kind of a refresher. So this episode is going to be extremely long. You don't have to listen to it if you already feel like you're caught up on the Scion actual play. But if you would like to listen to it and would like to kind of go from character creation onward, then here's a good time to catch up. And that means that when we do get back to our Scion actual play, hopefully in the next couple of weeks here, you'll be refreshed and won't have to go back and listen to, episodes that were 70, 80 episodes ago.
Right. Absolutely.
Long time ago when we were young.
I was never young.
In the meantime, if you're also looking for something else to do while you're waiting for our Scion actual play, Technocracy Reloaded Kickstarter is going on right now.
Really?
And we are on a roundabout.
And how's that doing? I'll tell you something else that pleasantly surprised me. This one took me quite off guard. Was the backer PDF of Pirates of Pugmire was sent out, and so as a contributor to that book, along with you two, playing various roles on this book, I've been reading through it, and am really impressed. I think it's a fantastic book, and I am remembering the things I contributed to it, which is always lovely, but reading what all the other writers contributed, and the artwork in it as well is just beautiful. It's like every single book in Realms of Pugmire just seems to get better and better, and yeah, I'm just really impressed. So kudos to you, Eddy, and to you, Dixie, co-writer, and
to you, Matthew.
Why, thank you.
To you, Matthew.
And to you, and
you,
also,
and you. Mike Chaney obviously did a lot of the art direction on that, but also Aileen Miles, who's another long-time White Wolf art layout person, an art director. She did the layout for this, and we did some different things with the layout. So again, yeah, I agree with you. It looks stunning. I'm really happy that it turned out. And also this week, I had a chat with Rich about new Pugmire projects. Can't talk about anything yet, but there is new stuff on the horizon. We're just working on details now.
Honestly, we had a really good team for Pirates. I was very happy with everybody's work that I've read, because it was the three of us, and then Jason Inchauskas, Danielle Lozon, Travis Legg, Alyssa Rich. I think everybody else.
Yep.
And of course, all the art was always fantastic. We got some returning, some of the some new people. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Brian Syme's character portraits.
Yes.
What's the class called? The one that's like a Sphinx cat that's like a sea witch.
Oh, the Oculist?
What's yeah, I was like, no, it's not the Oculist. I was like, what's that calling called?
The Mystic?
Yes, I wrote them. I don't know what they're called. It's fine.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, I was sitting here and I was like, sea witch. They're sea witches. I don't know. But I'm in love with that piece. Like, I just want to play that character in every game I play now. Because she's so cool looking.
Hard turn real quick, but speaking of forgetting things, last week during the episode with Gehenna Gaming, I made a mistake. Rich pointed out to me, gleefully pointed out to me in the Monday meeting. I mentioned during my origin story that I went for application for the Requiem line developer, and that Rose got the job. And Rich very pointedly corrected me. It was actually Joe Carricker who got the job. Rose was hired to be the Eve RPG line developer. So that was my mistake. And I'm sorry, Joe, for forgetting about your very seminal role in Requiem line development.
Shame on you, Eddy.
I feel very bad about this, especially considering we're obviously the Green Ronin podcast. I should know this.
Yeah.
But also, hey, if you know, the New York Times and stuff can issue retractions all the time, I guess we can too.
There we go. We're just like the New York Times.
They usually do them in really small little columns that no one reads on page 28, and we've just made a 3-minute thing. This is like a headline. Eddy was wrong. That's cool. We'll call this episode "Eddy was wrong."
There we go.
And nobody will know what it's about, but it could be fun.
I think it will entice people.
Well, this is hilarious. It's like, no, it'll be like, Eddy is wrong. Why is this episode 4 hours long? Is he wrong for 4 hours?
Eddy, can you just continue with a list of things you were wrong about, like misconceptions you had as a child, anything?
Well, yeah. So let's see. I was right about Wad Mafia, but otherwise, I was wrong about wrong about most of my life at this point. Really, I have forgotten so many things the past week, like people's names, books I've worked on, authors I have read several books of. I forgot William Gibson's name yesterday. I mean,
You did. We were in a meeting about something, and he was like, I don't know what this quote is from, but it's a good quote. And I was like, that's from Neuromancer. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, the book that, inspired me to get involved in Cyberpunk 20 years ago, and I've read 7 times. Yeah, somehow I forgot that entire book.
I mean, come on. I literally forgot a calling a second ago that I not only wrote, but also read yesterday, because I flipped through Pirates of Pugmire when I got it. The cool thing about the backer PDF going out means that we're going to have the actual product out fairly shortly, which is awesome. So anyone that didn't back it will be able to get it.
Right now we're collecting errata, yeah. So once we get that, and then get to the printer. So it should be pretty soon. It's on the horizon, and I have seen at least some people are starting to get their some people who bought like the already existing like the Pugmire and Mal books are starting to see those shipped. So people are getting some of their rewards early even. So it's nice that with everything going on, we're actually a little ahead of the game on some of our stuff.
If we're ahead of the game, then we can just slack off, right?
Well, that was my intention. I was when I was looking through Pirates of Pugmire, I also remember what I wrote vaguely, but I remembered when rereading it in lovely illustrated format how much I was trying to emulate something like Cannonball Run or Wacky Races with my maritime race to Dalmatian Cove or thereabouts, or to Tilly Isle. Where everyone's got to find a ship. There's various ships filled with holes. Different pirate crews are setting traps for each other. There's lots of obstacles on the way. And yeah, I was reading through it and I was remembering this was a lot of fun to write. And I know that we always go back to this whenever we talk about Pugmire or Monarchies of Mal. We always seem to remember... God, that's a breath of fresh air, isn't it? From a lot of the other work we do.
Well, yeah, we work on so many serious and horror games.
Yeah, we do.
Like, those are kind of two of our main genres, are serious and horror. Like, even the parts where things like Scion and Trinity are hopeful and fun and whatever, they still tend to be serious, at least in the writing of the core book. They not that the plays have to be serious. Like, when you play them, you can be as madcap as you want. Our Trinity actual play was ridiculous that I did. But I think that for me, working on the They Came From line and the Realms of Pugmire lines are like, it's like genuinely fun because you're actually trying to be genuinely funny occasionally. Whereas writing on Trinity and Scion and stuff, you're trying to present the material, and if the players want to take it and be funny, they can. But, you know, Eddy, you have this very specific tone that you like for Pugmire, that when you're nailing it, it's fun because like you're never talking down to people, so that feels good. You're always just kind of saying, but you are using very plain language. And then you do let us slip in jokes, but not the obvious ones. And trying to slip in the not obvious jokes is very fun for me.
Yeah, like a perfect example is for the stretch goal adventure, which is also going to lay out right now. The writer had a sparrow captain named Jack. And I was like, okay, I see where you're going here. Let's mention the fact that he's a sparrow. Let's mention later his name is Captain Mac. I actually changed the name. And let people put those pieces together. And I felt like a much stronger joke because at some point in time, someone at the table is going to go, Captain Max Sparrow, you know, and it's like, yes, that's what we're going for here.
And I edited that adventure and I'm not sure I noticed. And that's okay because the best kinds of those jokes are the kinds that people don't notice right away.
Exactly, right. Whereas in the original first draft, his name's literally Captain Max Sparrow. So I'm just like, that's too obvious.
Too obvious. Like there's one very famous pirate with a bird name, so let's just put them in there. No. But like I have the same feeling writing on the They Came From line, Matthew. Like when I was working on Beyond the Grave. Like
absolutely.
Being able to say the stupid thing that you think in your head is kind of fun, and then getting praised for it. Like. There were things that I put in there that I was like, I'm not going to get away with this. And Matthew would like highlight it and be like, I love this. And I was like, yes.
Well, again, it's all about tone. Some people hit it, some people don't. And it's not any fault of a writer who doesn't hit that tone because largely it's in my head. There's obviously some of it's in the outline, most of it's in the outline, but sometimes I'm going to read it and think, you know what, that kind of humor just doesn't work. And sometimes writers such as yourself, Eddy as well, get it completely bang on the money, and that's a joy to read, and of course makes red lines very easy. Means the comments I'm leaving are all "this made me laugh" and this, but double it, that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like self-aggrandizing here, but when I went through and read my red lines, you know, it was a month after I had turned in the work and I hadn't really looked at it in that time. I had written things that made me laugh. And I was like, I forgot I wrote that. I'm delighted right now by this. Like, my trick for writing on They Came From is about a glass and a half of wine. like just to get to that point where you will say that thing that usually you would just think to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, I'll just write this in. I don't care. It's a first draft, whatever. And some of that ended up being some of my stronger work because I was just like, just right at that edge of tipsy.
Which reminds me, at some point we still have to do our tipsy episode recording.
Well, we should probably not do that one at 10 a.m. on a weekday.
Well, day drinking is bad, and I agree, but...
I just hate day drinking. Like, every time I've done an event where my friends are like, we're going to start drinking at brunch, we're going to drink all day, I'm like, I'm going to be asleep by noon.
Right.
Is what's going to happen, because that's not fun for me. I don't want to be drunk and sweaty and outside.
Yeah, that sounds a bit like Gen Con, so, yeah, let's not.
True.
I don't drink at Gen Con until nighttime. See? Like, there's an event in Connecticut I used to go to. This is just totally off the rails now. I don't care. There's an event that they do every year. Probably not this year, I'm assuming. But every year there's a big event called Sailfest. Where it's just like it's a carnival. They shut down the whole like downtown area of the town I used to live in. And they have, vendors and all the bars are open and there's food and there's concerts and art gallery showings and all kinds of things. And yeah, for a lot of my friends, they were always like, let's roll up there at 10 a.m. and get beers. And I was like, no, like I'll go start hanging out and eating food at like 10 or 11 a.m. But I'm not going to start drinking until at least like 5 or 6. Like I'm not going to make it until 2 a.m. if we start drinking this early.
Right.
So, well, now that we have talked about all kinds of things, and praised each other and ourselves.
We could probably keep doing a podcast like this.
I mean, sure, let's just keep talking. No. We have a plan. We have announced our plan. I want to stick to our plan.
Yes. Otherwise, it's back on the merry-go-round we go.
Yeah, and then this episode is just a complete nonsense thing that will make no sense.
Speaking of which, the Technocracy Reloaded Kickstarter is starting.
Oh, that's it? Really? Speaking of,
sorry, I had to do it.
I know. I was waiting. Another Kickstarter that's going that isn't anything to do with us, but I think is something we should aspire to monetarily, is Frosthaven, the sequel to Gloomhaven.
Yeah.
Now, I think by the time this gets released, the Kickstarter should have just concluded. I think it's got something like 50-something hours left right now. We're recording this on the Wednesday.
Right, it's about 7 million.
Yeah, it's on about
it's
9.6
million.
Is it? Oh,
yeah,
yes.
I'm looking at it right now.
Yes, it'll be 7-point-something million pounds and $9-point-something million, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
wow.
It's quite stunning. And what's glorious about it is, I mean, I'm a big fan of Gloomhaven anyway, is that this isn't a game that is made to a massively high spec. It doesn't have loads of painted miniatures in. You don't get loads of sort of gold medallions inside it or useless peripherals. It's all cardboard. It's all sort of very neatly packed away, and it's just an incredibly versatile game. That's Gloomhaven anyway, and Frosthaven just looks to be more of the same. And I think it's quite just reassuring in a way that on the strength of a game's quality you can make such earnings. So all kudos to them as well for the great success of their Kickstarter. I hope it does even better in its closing day.
Totally agree.
I've been very tempted to back it just so I can also get Gloomhaven for a little cheaper.
I would say it's worth it. I mean, it gives you months upon months, years of play. Not that you have to play them back to back, but it really is a worthwhile investment, I think.
True. I have found, though, that one of the dangers of quarantine is that my brain keeps trying to rationalize, well, you're not spending money on going out, so you can buy ridiculously expensive things on the internet. And that's not, like, the best mentality to have. I should more be like, hey, I'm saving money right now. I can pay off some credit cards. Because, we're only doing takeout, like, maybe once a week. Mm-hmm. Just mostly to support some of our local businesses here. So, like, we'll occasionally grab something from, like, a truly local place.
Right.
And then past that, we get a lot of our meat and produce delivered. So we're not going to the grocery store that often. So I'm like, yeah, we're saving all this money right now. Like, I could buy Gloomhaven. And it's like, Dixie, don't start making like $200 purchases just because you happen to not go get cocktails this week.
But in theory, if you do, you won't then need to buy another board game for another year.
That's true.
It's true. That is the one, like, we had done Time Stories a while back, which I do enjoy. But having to buy like a $30 or $40 expansion every time you want to play a new one where you know, don't already know how it's going to end.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of annoying.
Yeah, I buy all of them secondhand, the Time Stories expansions, for exactly that reason. You might get 2 uses out of it, maybe, if you go back to it after a long while. But yeah, I just try to avoid buying them new now for that reason.
I never thought about the fact that you could probably buy them on like eBay or secondhand.
Yeah. I look on Facebook Marketplace for these things.
The point is, I feel kind of silly, but also hopeful that I can get the other expansions now that we haven't played without spending like, $120 that I could be spending on fucking Gloomhaven.
And that's our ultimate segue to the Scion actual play. Fucking Gloomhaven.
Fucking Gloomhaven. And now, without further ado, Scion Origin.
So Scion Origin. Now,
character creation.
Yeah, remember that. So
no, I've completely forgotten what we're supposed to be talking about.
So for those of you listening who aren't familiar with the game of Scion, Scion was initially released by White Wolf of old in the, I guess, early to mid-2000s.
About there.
And it had its own system that was based on the storytelling system to a degree. It was still D10s. And the general concept of Scion was that you are playing the direct descendants of the gods of ancient myth. And these ranged from the Greco-Roman theoi to the Egyptian Netya and all kinds of other pantheons around the world. And it was a great game with a great concept. And for the last few years, hasn't really been active. It came to the end of its line, again in the mid-2000s, and Onyx Path purchased the full rights to create Scion games, and our developers such as Neil Raymond Price, along with the incredible Story Path team who helped design the system, have made Scion 2nd edition, starting with Scion Origin. And we launched it on Kickstarter. It did very well. Scion Origin has gone out to backers, and I believe all errata has been collected now, and Neil is diligently inputting it to make sure the finished product is as polished and shiny as it can possibly be. Mm-hmm. The game has undergone numerous improvements since the first edition, because I can say, as a frequent player of Scion First Ed, the setting is sublime, but the system is deeply flawed, and I think a lot of people agree with that assessment with the benefit of hindsight.
Right.
Second edition, we have rigorously tested the story path system across not only Scion but also Trinity, and also They Came From Beneath the Sea with various variants.
And Dystopia Rising.
And Dystopia Rising,
you
sorry.
You always want to forget about Dystopia Rising.
I do, I'm sorry. It doesn't deserve
it. Aww.
That's so sad.
Oh, no.
It's so cute.
We'll do a Dystopia Rising deep dive. Well, we've already done one, but we'll do a character creation session in a couple of months. But anyway... Okay. Back to Scion. So the game has been updated. It isn't linked to any strong meta plot, so you don't need to have read first edition in order to get second edition. And this is essentially a superhero role-playing game in which you are playing, still, the children of the gods. And one of the interesting things about second edition that is pushed more to the forefront than in first ed is how much the world in which both mortals and scions and titans spawn live, is more accepting of faith, belief, mythology being ever present in their world. Things can be more readily attributed to the gods than in perhaps our world. It's very similar, but there are some rather subtle differences. So we are going to be creating a couple of characters for Scion Origin, which is the first book in the Scion 2nd Edition series, with Dixie and Eddy as players.
Yay!
To take
this
you
is
through...
kind of like playing a game.
And let me get to it. Once we have finished creating the characters in a couple of weeks, if the winds don't blow my house down before then, we should actually get a session in, a gameplay session, that we will be able to upload to our YouTube channel or Twitch channel. Right now we're debating over which would be the best. Maybe both. And Dixie and Eddy can be the players. And Dixie can finally get in her long-awaited tabletop role-playing game experience, albeit online.
True. I mean, I've got another chance this weekend because we're at PAX Unplugged. So I'll update y'all next week as to whether or not I got to play a game.
So I may be usurped as your first storyteller in some time.
Yeah, maybe. We'll
I mean,
see.
Monarchies of Mao will be at PAX Unplugged, and I'll be there, so,
Well, we'll
Always
talk a little more.
depends on the schedule.
About PAX at the end of this character creation session.
Now you care about structure, fine.
Well, no, fine. You talk about we're talking about something.
No.
Stay the course.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to lay out what the setting of our game is going to be. We're going to be setting it in Miami, a city in the USA, if you're unfamiliar. And Miami is, of course, the setting of numerous TV shows. It's quite well known for its sun-drenched beaches, its cabana bars, its somewhat thriving drug trade. And also for being the home of such TV characters as Dexter, the cast of CSI Miami, and Burn Notice, among others. They always put across a certain feel for Miami. On one hand, there's glamour and glitz. On the other, there's a very seedy underworld underbelly. And for me, Miami is a setting I've used for Scion before, and is the setting I'm going to be using for our two characters in this game. So, let us start with character creation as the book takes us through it. We start first of all with a character concept, and concepts don't have to be long. They can be one sentence, maybe two at maximum, just so we can get a feel for the kind of character you're going to be playing. So let's start with you, Dixie. What kind of character are you interested in playing?
I actually wrote this down in my notes. So I put secretly optimistic, disaffected rebel. So somebody who presents as a very, kind of punk rock, kind of street kid, but in the way that a lot of the youth are today, or people of my generation are today. She's also, trying to be a force for change and for good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's my, basic thing.
And Eddy?
So the rough idea I have is someone who's a med student. I wasn't sure where we're setting it, so the idea is that he's from a different country, so he's moving to this country to learn medicine, and he's not quite done with his study yet. He's in his residency, so he's doing some things at hospitals, but he's still not a full doctor yet.
So what? Now that you know where this game is set, where are you leaning toward for your character's country of origin?
Still not sure yet. I mean, he, because of later decisions, he's going to have some Irish ancestry, but I don't think he's necessarily going to be from Ireland. I'm still mulling that over.
Okay. So the next thing we need to do is decide on deeds. So deeds are very much player-driven. They are the things that the players want to achieve in the game session, in the entire story, and as a group. And it's the responsibility of the players as a group to actually achieve these for each other. And each player chooses a short-term deed, a long-term deed, and there's a band-term deed that is agreed upon between the group for the entire band, as it were, of characters. So, Dixie, we can go for a couple of short-term deeds if you like, but for the time being, what are you thinking of for your character's short-term deeds? What would you like to see your character achieve?
So since a short-term deed is supposed to be something that's achievable in, one gameplay session, so I didn't want to make it too, over the top or whatever. It was just to defend someone in need or help somebody in need, whether it's a friend who is, doing something they shouldn't be doing, or whether it is a stranger getting, beat up on the street, whatever. She just wants, like, she has a desire to kind of help people and save people. And so even, you know, something as small as, like, speaking up for somebody who's getting harassed in public, you know, something like that, even if it means possibly getting into a fight herself. Like, she's willing to do that.
This story will definitely give you the opportunity for that. And Eddy, your character's short-term deed?
I think it's similar to like Dixie's thoughts in the sense of something I could do pretty easily now is to heal someone, to find someone, and that could be nebulous. It could be I'm currently thinking physical healing, but it could be an emotional healing. It could be emotional support. I'm fuzzy on that, but the idea that he's going to go out of his way to try to heal someone that doesn't necessarily benefit him.
You know, Eddy, it's kind of funny that for all that we made somewhat different characters, like mine's more like a punk rock street kid and yours is like a med student, we're actually going to end up having really similar goals because of your person being, you know, a guy that is obviously going to school to help people, and my girl being someone who has researched through, like, you know, either the library or the internet or just learning from other people or whatever how to best help those in need, just in different ways.
That's actually a really good point, and I think that will help as we, you know, pull our band together, knowing that, okay, we're on the same page for some things.
Yeah, because I was
thing to work from.
I was definitely trying to figure out, like, when we were first kind of chatting about this, I was like, why would my girl hang out with a med student? Like, you know, maybe if he's, like, cool, wants to, like, come do some of the, you know, activism type stuff, I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, no, I like that.
Then we have long-term deeds. Now, long-term deeds, we can actually come back to this if necessary, because often it will be in part defined by the paths you choose for your character. But it is possible the two of you have already selected these. So a long-term deed is something that will take an entire story arc to achieve. If you imagine a comic book character such as, I don't know, let's say Batman in the No Man's Land comic book storyline, every single issue he's going up against a different villain, so his short-term deeds are to put down Mr. Freeze, put down Clayface and what have you. The long-term is to stabilize Gotham City after its earthquake. So in our case, what long-term deeds do we have in mind, Dixie?
Right, so kind of a similar thing, whereas the short term could be like a one-off thing, and I connected the short-term one to Valor, because some of them have, like, connections you can make. So for the long-term one, I connected it to Conviction, and that's actually, like, either help a person or a group, like, actually affect long-term change somehow, whether it's in her community, or whether it's getting somebody off the street and into a stable lifestyle, like, actually doing something that takes longer than, you know, a 5-minute interaction to, you know, change something for the better, or whether it's something political, like getting a bill shot down that would negatively affect the homeless, you know. So she's very much like, she wants to save people. Like, she does kind of want to be a hero, but she also feels like she's not very good at it sometimes, or that she's, you know, or that the world has no place for heroes, or that she'll never be as good as the one she sees on YouTube and TV and stuff. So yeah, so she's like a little bit of a struggle with that. But yeah, so overall she wants to save somebody or a group, or just affect larger change in her community. Okay, and Eddy?
I was talking because that actually ties in really well with what I'm thinking of. Right now I have find a purpose, because I'm imagining this character didn't go into med school for completely altruistic reasons. Much more like, you know, the family said you should be a doctor, to make a lot of money, because that is very much the modern perception of men in healing professions, is that, you know, it's not because you're nurturing, it's because this makes you money. And so he doesn't resent medicine. He finds he enjoys elements of being a physician, being a healer, but it does not necessarily equate to being a modern doctor. And so he's a little lost in terms of what his purpose is. And of course, he's still, you know, he's an unemployed med student right now. So I mean, there's a lot of also immediate pressures of find the job, find money. So all of that, it's like he's feeling a little lost. So I'm thinking just his long term is actually finding a purpose, and finding someone who has a strong purpose but can't necessarily, or struggles to enact it, would be a really good, I think, character pairing.
That's a very nice tie into the general fate themes of of Scion, and from the perspective of a character like a medical student, it could be as simple as finding the school of medicine in which he wants to operate. Is he more interested in surgery or being a pediatrician, that sort of thing.
Right, exactly. I get more personal satisfaction for things like general practice, but also I know there's money in like plastic surgery and that kind of debates that I've had other friends who are med students have those kinds of debates.
Yeah. Okay, and the final set of deeds, or the final deed, is the banned term deed, and it helps to know a little about the game in order to set a banned term deed. So what we will be confronted with as the story starts is Miami being racked by a hurricane just come in from the sea and tidal waves bashing up against its shore, and the fallout that occurs after a natural disaster like that has hit a metropolitan area.
Right.
So honestly, your desires for your characters to be in situations where they are going to help people are definitely going to be at the forefront immediately. This will be a chance for them to become heroes with the lowercase h early on because of the situation they find themselves. So with that in mind, the banned term deed could very well tie to the fact that there's a natural, or in brackets, unnatural disaster going on.
For the listeners, what's funny about this is that we didn't actually know what any of Matthew's setup was going to be when we made these characters. And also,
right.
Eddy and I just barely discussed what we were doing, just to make sure we weren't making the exact same kind of character. But past that, these are working out way better than we actually thought they would.
And I'm glad we actually did it this way, because this is pretty similar to how a character creation session kind of goes. It's sometimes it's like, adjust that, and sometimes everyone's just weirdly firing on the same cylinder. In this case, it's really, really cool. I'm very excited by this.
Well, and as an aside, and I guess this is Matthew Dawkins' GMing advice hoving in, I've been in a lot of game sessions where GMs encourage you to create characters in a vacuum and then sort of plonk the plot right on top of you. And while I'm not going to be giving away too many details of the story up ahead, I certainly recommend anyone running a game to either lay the seeds of what the story is going to be about to the players so that they can weave their characters into it, or to listen to the characters, and if they have listen to the players, I should say, and if they have a full-fledged idea of what they want their characters to do, to tailor their scenario to that. But certainly don't try and bash two disparate elements up against each other and hope that they work. It's good to at least tease a little bit of the information that's going to be coming up in the game.
Right. So that's kind of cool. It's working out. So currently, of course, we don't have banned term deeds we've decided on, because the banned term deed would be something that we want to do as a unit.
Well, I guess the question is, do your characters know each other beforehand? Because you wouldn't have a banned term deed really until you do, or it's more difficult to justify.
Right, and that we haven't talked about yet.
No.
Eddy?
So I'm of two minds. I mean, I think it can be a lot of fun to play through the awkward getting to know each other character stage. Especially if we are all as players on the same page. Okay, eventually we have to get along and find a way to get along, and we're all going to do X. So knowing how we're getting there can be part of the fun. But also, since we're openly talking about this as a thing that we're going to try to put online and show people, I don't know if that's going to be fun for other people to witness. I mean, we do this kind of awkward bantery stuff all the time, weekly. I don't know if they want to also see us awkwardly bantering, getting to know each other as characters. It might be really entertaining. It might not. I don't know. So I'm of two minds, honestly.
Yeah. I almost feel like it would make sense in the story that you presented, especially if this hurricane just happened, for both of our characters to show up as like a relief effort and meet that way. Mm-hmm. But also it would make sense if maybe we were both already part of some kind of aid organization, since he's looking for purpose and I'm trying to help. And like maybe vaguely know each other, like by sight or by, first name, but aren't friends. Mm-hmm. I think one of those two things would make the most sense, personally.
That makes sense, because then we have a tie. We have a reason to stick together when things get tense, but we still have some room to you and I to both kind of see what the relationship's going to look like.
Yeah.
So, okay, so yes, you are both going to be members of a civilian relief team whose first objective is to see whether there's anyone still trapped in that seafront hotel, and if so, to escort them to safety. So you were no doubt briefed about what you need to do to stay together. If you become separated at all, and there will be various procedures you will end up learning. But I think that's an excellent tie that we don't need to necessarily cover in the game, but that's already linked to your characters.
Right. Mm-hmm. Because then we could be assigned to the same small team and have to deal with each other, then you could run like an NPC or two if you need to,
Exactly.
So maybe our band's deed then could be find a way to make this work.
Right. Also, I just said NPC, and I'm sorry, it's actually SGC in this game. It's a Storyguide character. I am a bad person. But
no, it's fine.
That's all right. I keep saying GMing and all kinds.
Oh, yeah. All of us do that. Yeah, so find a way to make what work precisely? The friendship?
This relief effort work, this teamwork.
Okay.
Yeah, keep the team together.
There we go. Keep the team together.
Getting the band back together.
Yeah. So let's say that's an endurance.
Go ahead.
Would you say it's an endurance deed if you can, if you're trying to keep a team together in arduous circumstances?
Probably. I'd have to. It's always hard without the book in front of you. I have to look at the actual list of deeds.
We should Matthew. We should probably talk a little bit about the unifying phrases. Because you mentioned endurance. We talked about what that means in the context of deeds yet?
Yes. So there's unifying phrases that are associated to deeds. Basically, in fact, I've got the book. I do have the book in front of me. Fancy that.
I mean, so do I, but it's just in PDF form.
So basically, you can assign a theme or unifying phrase to a deed. So, Dixie, you mentioned one earlier regarding your character, I think. Did you say?
Yep. I've got Valor for my short term and Conviction for my long term.
That's right, and we have endurance here as one of the examples in the book. Endurance deeds, for instance, are survive extended bouts of hard physical labour, function for days without rest, endure pain, hunger, thirst, and fatigue. Now, what I'm thinking of is a more immediate threat, a more social threat. So maybe endurance isn't the correct one.
I think ours should be based on the list because I am looking at it now. It would probably be some version of loyalty or duty. I feel like duty might be one of the main ones. That's like help those in need, build or repair objects vital to a community.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, duty does sound better.
Now, what these deeds achieve, they aren't just things to write on a character sheet. If players achieve their deeds, they earn experience points, and it's simple as that. And this is why it's worthwhile the players assisting each other in achieving the deeds they have respectively selected, because it means everyone gets stronger in the group and your characters become more powerful. It is a simple translation of achieve the deeds you set out to do, get rewarded.
Yep.
Right.
And it's something through my playtests of just they came from alone. It's something that players just seem to get. So I'm a really big fan of this mechanic.
Yeah, honestly, also just as a even outside the mechanics, just having something in front of your sheet to go, okay, what do I do now? Okay, well, I have 3 things I can be focusing on. It really helps sometimes when lots of stuff's happening during the game to kind of go, oh, actually, my character really wants. Can we work in a point where my character can heal someone because I know that's the thing I want to do, and so it allows you as the player and the story guide to kind of talk through this might be cool for the game to happen, and the story guide also is aware ahead of time, hey, these are things I know you want to have happen, so I'll try to find ways to work them in. So it really does work to kind of focus the game as a whole, I think.
Okay, let's move on to step 2, which is paths. Selecting the paths.
Let me stop you real quick. I think we actually skipped something.
We did?
The second paragraph of concept, which was the very beginning, was if you're playing a pre-visitation Scion, you should also decide on your character's divine parent. And all that stuff at the Pantheon.
Yeah, that's slightly important for Scion, isn't it?
We should probably talk about who our parents are.
Whoops!
We could reveal our characters' names if we wanted, instead of me just being like, my girl. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to take over. I'm just thinking maybe we should talk about that, because all of my paths and even my deeds are kind of related to my divine parent, so...
No, I think that's absolutely fair. This is something I usually sort of select at the end. That's often how I treat clans, but I will follow the book. You are correct. Yeah, let's talk about pantheons and divine parents then, Dixie. What are you thinking for yours?
So I am I chose the Theoid Pantheon, mostly because I wanted Persephone as my divine parent. I've always liked her as a goddess figure. I like the whole kind of light and dark dichotomy, living for half the year up in heaven, half the year in hell, all because of her convictions and kind of love and things like that. It's always been a really cool story. And my character is named Phaedra Maris. So, but she goes by Faye, so you can call her Faye.
Lovely. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Eddie?
So I was pretty quickly kind of gravitated to, and I'm going to say ahead of time, I apologize to all my Irish friends if I screw any of this stuff up. But I do want to kind of do the Tuatha De Danann because of the time I lived in Ireland last year, and so I was like, I want to kind of celebrate that a little bit and have fun with that. But I also didn't want to do kind of the known one of the gods. I wanted to pick something that's a little off kilter. And that's how I started my concept. I was like, okay, which of these are Irish gods we don't talk about a lot in kind of common pop culture? And I actually quickly settled on Dion Sect, which is the god of healing. So I mean, a lot of obviously my concept is dwelling from that. Is that there's someone who's drawn to healing, but also and I find interesting the lens of spiritual and mythological healing versus our modern day commercialization, especially in America, commercialization. But that's why I wanted to kind of see where what country we're setting it in, because it does kind of change how I was approaching it. But definitely, so staying in America, I like that because I do want to play with that dichotomy.
Right.
And the character's name is Cian Sweeney.
Cian?
Okay.
Cian, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we have Cian and Faye.
Yeah.
Faye and Cian.
Yeah, I just tried to pick a Greek name that wasn't super obviously Greek. So, also
Right.
Phaedra is the main character in the Kashiel Start book series I always talk about, so I thought I would just
Nice.
go with Phaedra because it's an actual Greek name.
There you go.
All right then. So we will get on to paths now. I don't think I've missed anything else.
No.
I'm doubting myself.
No,
now.
you're great. You're wonderful.
So we define 3 paths for our Scion characters. We define their origin, their role, and in our case, their pantheon, which we've already spoken about. But we'll get back onto it. So origin is, as the name implies, your character's background. And the different paths you select have a knock-on effect to the skills that your character will have access to. You can choose the skills, while the book will suggest some skills associated with certain origins. You can also completely customize these as long as it makes some degree of sense or is interesting. So, for instance, some of the origins that are suggested in the book include globe-trotting army brat, say that with a mouthful, daughter of Harlem, and so on. So what origin were you thinking of for your character, Dixie?
I went off book for this one. So I didn't choose one of the ones in the book. Mine was more like an absent parent kind of thing. So she very much raised herself. It's not that her father that raised her was a bad guy per se, but he was gone a lot for work, and when he was home he was always kind of working, and she very much raised herself and was constantly seeking approval. So she did very well in school. So I gave her more academics background, because unfortunately the only other one that kind of worked for my character was street rat, which wasn't really what I was going for, because she didn't have to fight to survive, but she did spend a lot of time just pursuing her own interests, and she's been very independent from a very young age. So I put absent parent / self-raised for my origin path.
Okay then, well we'll get on to the skills you've selected once we get to the skills section of character creation. But,
right.
And Eddie, what did you go for your character's origin?
I kind of went a different direction in the sense that I wanted to play with this idea, as I've talked about before, that this character is kind of stuck in a dichotomy. And I wanted his background to be atypical from what you would expect from someone who's going through med school. So I didn't want to have a high intellectual background, academic background. So instead of my path, I try to find a way to phrase it, but I have right now obsessed with sports. He was very much a jock in high school, very much a jock growing up, and became slowly interested in healing as a concept. So this is the kind of character who's also going to be passionate about football scores and still like goes out and plays games once a week. Is a kind of a weird, again, kind of give it some tension, a little bit of a not unexpected bit to it. I don't have much more beyond that, though.
Okay, well, no, I think that's detailed enough. And then we have our role path, which in one sense is your occupation or area of expertise. In another, it's the role you perform within the band, within your group of characters. So as these characters have only just really met, you could define this by your role within the civilian emergency group or in your role outside of that. Dixie, what's Faye's role?
Her role in the civilian group would be a little different than what I selected, just because I was selecting her kind of in a vacuum, not knowing where we were going to go with this. So the kind of main concept behind my role I put as dark and light, which is very much connected to the Persephone myth once again. So she's very, angry about the world, and she is angry about how people are treated and everything, but she's also super hopeful and optimistic and trying to help people. So it's this very, it's a thing that I think a lot of people are feeling now in the real world, where you're angry, but you want to fix things. You're trying to kind of reconcile the two, because sometimes you just want to yell. So I envisioned her as being kind of a, like a angry punk activist was what I put as her basic thing. So like maybe she's in a band where she gets to let some of that out and she yells like an actual band, not like a Scion band. And but then maybe her day job is very much like in politics and helping people and doing the rescue relief type stuff. So yeah, so kind of a dark and light dichotomy was her role. Okay,
and what about Kian, Eddy?
Much more straightforward. I just have that he's an unemployed med student / resident. With the emphasis on the unemployed part, because again, that's one of the things I kind of want to. He's visualizing finding his purpose right now as I need to find a job or a career, but it's actually deeper than that.
Right.
Okay. And that takes us on to the third part of the path creation, which is society or pantheon, and essentially ties you to a divine parent in our characters' cases. So, is there anything more you want to say on your pantheon path, Dixie?
Yeah, I kind of envision her as knowing who her divine parent is, which you can know or not know depending on your character. Yep. So I kind of had a thought where she maybe got a little obsessed with the Persephone stories for a while, and she's trying to find the balance that her mother has in the stories. So she's trying to find that balance between dark and light, and trying to figure out how to embrace them both to be stronger at the end.
Okay, and because you've
and presentation Scion, obviously, which was part of that.
Yeah, and because you've chosen the Theoi Pantheon, I assume you will be taking the 3 skills dictated by that Pantheon as well when we get to that stage.
I do believe I did. I'd have to look at which skills are which again, but yes.
Okay, well, we'll get to that in a minute. And Eddy, what about you?
Not a ton, although I have been thinking about an earlier question you asked, and I think I'm going to change my mind because it's a good topic to talk about. I always find it a little awkward to play a character from a different nationality than myself, specifically regards accents.
Right.
I wouldn't do that. If I don't want to do a bad accent, but at the same time, I don't want it to sound like an American just happens to be from a different country. So I think for this, I'm just going to sidestep that. Instead, rather than the character being from a different country, I'm going to instead say characters from Boston, a strong Irish American population, which is Irish American is a very distinct thing from Ireland, but still, there's enough of a connection there that there's a reason why a member of the Tuatha may have birthed someone in that area.
A city like Miami is very much a foreign country to someone who's born and raised in Boston, I would say.
Right, exactly. So the idea of the culture shock, I think, will still be there, but it's less of a different country culture shock and much more along the lines of moving from New England to Florida is a very distinct thing inside the United States.
Also, Boston is very much a sports town, so if you're obsessed with sports,
right,
you have a lot
exactly.
of options up there.
that was my thought too, is that there's a lot of things, as I was talking through, it's like, Boston's a really good place for this character to come from. So yeah, I think I'm switch to that, but still, other than that, yeah, he's doesn't know much about his heritage, and currently doesn't have a particular obsession one way or the other.
Okay, so what do you have a phrase written down for your society or pantheon path?
I just have a child of the insect, and we'll go from there.
Okay. All right then. So I think we go straight onto skills at this point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you choose 3 skills for related to your origin, 3 to your role, and the 3 that are connected to your pantheon are dictated by your pantheon. So you have to prioritize your character's paths as primary, secondary, and tertiary, which is the most important to your character, which is the least important as your character currently stands. Obviously, this may change later on in the character's life. So each one dictates how many skill points you get. So let's see. Dixie, which of your character's paths did you put as primary?
Her role path. So the dark and light dichotomy.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. For some reason I was imagining you were going to go for origin.
Nope. That's actually 3rd. That's the last one, because she's very much like, I'm not going to let that dictate my life kind of person.
Oh, no, that's good. That's interesting. And what about you, Eddie?
Same thing, though. His primary is his role path, his med-student path.
And did you put your origin as tertiary as well?
No, actually, the obsessive sports is his tertiary. He's moving away from his background, and he's starting to embrace, or at least recognize, that his pantheon, his heritage, has some draw for him. So he's, it's a kind of I'm moving away from what I thought I was going to do with my life into the thing that I'm being fated to do with my life. Okay,
and I'm sure people aren't going to be terribly interested to hear every single skill and every single point allotment, so rather than doing that, let's just talk about where your character specialises in skills and where they are perhaps a little more woeful. So, Dixie, what would you say is your character's skill highlights and lowlights?
I definitely went with a lot of academics. Mostly her own self-research, but I put a specialization of politics and activism. Like, she's just, especially in this day and age, if we're using modern technology, she's always on her phone, she's always on Twitter, she's always reading everything that's going on in the world. Like, she's just very, invested in that. And then also empathy, since she is so big on helping people. And then a fair amount of persuasion, just because she's good at kind of, like, rousing the crowd, things like that. A little bit of leadership, Yeah.
Lovely. And Eddie?
Similar with the academics, not as much as it sounds like Dixie's character has.
I've got 4 dots.
Yeah, I only have 3. But I mean, you can't go through med school without picking up a certain amount of academic stuff. I have a fairly low spread of lots of little things. Like, again, it has a weird, diverse background. So it's like a little bit of athletics, a little bit of close combat, a little bit of culture. But his big one is I have 5 dots in medicine, which is specialized right now in EMT.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Especially which again, something I didn't pick initially, or I didn't know what this background is. Like, EMT sounds good, but it turns out this could be a really fantastic one for this concept and the structure.
Right. Whereas, like I said,
I also have.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I also have survival at 3 dots, which sounds weird, but to me that ties into the unemployed portion of it. It's like how he's had to kind of make things work because of this crippling student debt, and also putting in money for other things and trying to make ends meet. He's ended up learning a lot of just how to make a dollar stretch a lot further.
So I thought about that, right? Like, putting survival on there because she would, like, brace herself, but then I read the description of survival, and it's straight up like, you can find water in a desert. You can live in the woods. And I'm like, that's not what I mean. So I didn't know, like, whether I should take that or not.
That's a good point.
This is something that we can talk about, as a group. Or as the story guide, like, you could decide if you're going to allow that or not. Because I thought about it, but it wasn't... There isn't a streetwise skill in this game, like there is in some other games, which is fine. It just meant that I was trying to figure out where to put that kind of, ability.
No, I agree, because there's also no finance skill. So talking about how to make ends meet, there's nowhere it really falls under naturally. So I tend to treat story path skills as diverse as the players need to make them within reason. If the name of it justifies what you're trying to do, basically, I'm good with that.
Okay.
So I think the idea of using survival to essentially survive in a modern urban environment is quite an interesting one. It's not a way I've seen it used before, but I would allow it. And yeah, as said, there aren't other skills that I would readily replace survival with for the purpose you're talking about.
Other two I was looking at as possibilities are either culture or integrity. But even those are kind of, they're not as much an obvious fit as survival conceptually, you know?
No, I would see integrity as coping,
Right.
not letting it break you down. Culture, possibly making the best of the situation. I would say culture or survival in this case, but I'm happy for you to keep survival on your sheet and use that. I think it's quite an inspired way of using the skill.
Yeah, I did culture for a similar. So I actually, brief tangent, I ended up talking to Neil about this a little bit when I was making this character, and kind of going like, I feel like I have too many skills, like too many dots. Because I feel like, why is my, let's say that my girl is 25 years old, like, why is she so good at culture that she can possibly speak multiple languages and identify art on site and whatever? That seems weird. And even having the level of academics I had seemed weird. And he kind of said, like, a pre-visitation Scion is still meant to be, like, a bit of a savant. Like, they're supposed to be extra good at a lot of things. And I was like, okay, because I was definitely approaching this as making more of a, like, mortal-ish character. And she seemed too good at things. But then he kind of steered me away from that and said, no, she's still the kid of a god. Even if she doesn't have her, like, god powers yet, like, she's still really good at stuff, so... Yeah,
and I think that's fair. I mean, because like with Dystopia Rising, you're definitely meant to be the tougher and hardier of the survivors. With Trinity, the default character is quote-unquote talent, and same thing is like going your kind of movie action hero level of competent. So yeah, it all kind of fits a certain range of you are a above average competent protagonist.
Right, exactly. Like, maybe I just learned things a lot faster or something, and that's why I have 4 academics when I'm, a younger person or whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. It was just an interesting aside, I thought.
I quite like that idea of your character being in an arts gallery and feeling like she knows nothing about art, and yet somehow being able to understand exactly what the artist was going for. Right. Because of their divine parentage. Right. It's it's a unnaturally good ability, and that can almost be part of the realization that you're more than those around you.
Right. Exactly.
So, following skills, we have attributes. And again, we're not going to go granular on this, but rather you rank your different arenas, your physical, mental, and social, in order of preference. Just as you just did with your skill pools. Uh-huh. And I have to say, this is one of my favourite examples in the book, where they are demonstrating the different uses of firearms. For instance, pairing firearms with a physical attribute to shoot the gun or fire the gun, firearms with mental to calculate a trajectory, firearms with social to intimidate someone with a little red dot on their forehead. I think that's a really nice way of illustrating how versatile this system can be. Right. But aside from that, your characters need to delineate which of your attributes are primary, secondary, and tertiary. So what is it for you, Dixie?
So I did mental as primary, social as secondary, and physical as tertiary.
Okay, and so characters also have an approach. Yep. So that's how they generally act. Do they act with force, finesse, or resilience in most cases? Right. Which did you go for?
Finesse.
Okay, that seems right based on how you've described your character. And now, what about you, Eddie?
I have mental primary, but physical secondary and social tertiary. And my favorite approach is resilience.
Okay, yeah, that seems to fit as well. So for the people listening, as with other games similar, you gain more dots in your primary arena, fewer dots in your tertiary arena, but with Story Path as well, once you've chosen Force, Finesse or Resilience, you gain additional dots for that bracket, which is distinct from your arenas. So whereas a physical arena will be, for instance, might, dexterity and stamina, your force approach for what couldn't think of the word there, your force approach would be intellect, might and presence, and you gain 2 additional dots to put across there. So it's all divided into columns and rows. And then you get an additional dot later on to assign to another attribute. So we are very close to the end of character creation.
Yay!
Although we've talked about this for nearly an hour, well, and suits.
Character creation and suits.
Yeah, one thing I enjoy about Story Path particularly is the quick way you can create characters. So we have callings and knacks. So what are these? I'm going to read from the book here because these are very specific. These are specific to Scion, and it helps to explain to the listeners what it means. So callings are archetypes that exist within the stories of humanity, binding the gods to fated roles. Most gods and Scions exhibit 3 different callings to express their manifold natures. Pre-visitation Scions, that's you,
What?
may only have 1 active at any one time. So you get to choose a calling from the list that's in the book, or, as we have pre-visitation Scions, they are basically coming from the Divine Patron's 3 favoured callings.
Yes.
So, Dixie, what were your character's callings?
I just chose leader for the one I chose from Persephone. My options were judge, leader, or liminal. But leader seems to be the way that she would end up going eventually.
Okay. And what about you, Eddy?
My options were creator, healer, and judge, and shocking probably nobody at all, I decided on healer.
What?
I know, right? Totally off cam.
That doesn't go with your character at all.
Completely off weird.
And then we have the heroic knack that matches the calling. So a knack is, for all intents and purposes, a special power you have that enables you to act in a positively inhuman way. So, what did Faye take as a knack, Dixie?
I have to remember exactly what they all do if you want me to go into detail, but...
Yes, please.
Oh gosh, what do they all do? I didn't write all this down. I should have. I'm the worst. I know I chose Grand Entrance, which I think just means that people pay attention to you when you walk into a place, and you could, like, get the attention of a room pretty easily. I don't remember the exact thing, because I'm trying to find it in the book.
Yeah, it's +1 enhancement on social roles.
Okay, there we go. So, social roles, good at stuff.
For first impressions, yeah.
I chose Aura of Greatness, -- Leadership, which is, I think, one of the other leader ones. So, yeah, so that one's just, like, once again, people pay attention to you. I think it has more social things. People will kind of do what you say a little bit better because you seem like you're in charge. And then I took Good Listener because I've actually got a lot of dots in empathy. And since part of my girl's thing is trying to help people, I took that, which means that people will open up to you a little bit more because they can tell that you're actually listening to them. So I figured that would help us get information and also help her in her quest to, like, save people, because if they'll actually tell her their problems.
Yeah, lovely. Okay, and Eddy, what did you choose?
I just realized that I missed a step because I only chose 1. Because I thought you only got 1, then I realized that afterwards you can get some extra ones. So
you can only use 1 at a time.
Right.
Oh. Because it says choose a single heroic knack appropriate to the calling from the lists, and then an original character can only use 1 knack at a time. Although they may purchase extras, which I haven't done yet.
Yeah, I didn't purchase extras, but I got them for whatever it says to get them from. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting. We'll have to sort through it later.
Yeah, I'll have to see what's going on with
what
that.
I have, Right. So the one I have now is Combat Medic, which basically means that I can, every scene, I can heal a bruised level from someone for free.
That's new.
Okay.
That's helpful.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think you'll get more.
Maybe.
Right.
So, following this, there's a few stat-based calculations we won't go into in great detail, where your character defines their strength, their defense, their health, and so on. You can tweak your character.
To interrupt you, I just saw the other piece. It says you choose 5 extra skill dots, an extra attribute dot, and 2 additional knacks. That's where that came from.
There we go.
So I did miss it. So it is me. It's on me.
But no, I'm glad my cheat sheet isn't fully rubbish. So we have you can tweak your characters now, and this is just something we put into our books that is, it's basically a way of saying, hey, you may have come up with a character, got to the end of character creation and feel like that isn't the character for you. That's fine. There's still adjustments you can make that aren't necessarily in keeping with the structured method of character creation, such as swapping dots around, swapping out knacks, and the like.
Yeah, and you can also do that after each session, which is awesome. So, like, if we play this for one session, and then I'm like, this skill is never going to be useful for me, you can move things around a little bit.
Exactly. It's far more important that you play characters you're actually interested in playing, rather than feeling restricted to a template you realise doesn't fit you. So, what we have to follow is some work on connections. If you want to go that far, have you created any contacts that your characters already have?
I didn't do any connections personally, because I wanted to wait until we all talked about it. Because I thought that might be another way for us to be connected, like, as characters, is that maybe we know the same person, that sort of thing. Also, connections can be organizations and stuff, so we probably could take some ranks in whatever we decide this rescue organization is called. So, yeah. So I was going to wait on that until we talked about it some more, so I don't have anything right now.
Same here. I didn't choose that either because, I wanted to see what our structure was going to be first.
Okay, well, we will define that at the very beginning of our first gameplay session, I suggest, then.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Alright then, I think that is it for character creation, unless I'm missing something particularly weighty.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think it's all.
Although I will tell you that the first thing I did when I started making my character was write my name on the log line. So I got off to a great start.
But at the end, you were better at it than I was, so it all works out.
Yeah.
And better than it than I was. Because I put the Pantheon at the very end for God's forsaken reason.
I will tell you that I have read this book more than either of you. I am certain of that.
Oh, no doubt.
Because between the editing phase and then the proofing phase and then other proofs that we've done, like I've probably read this book more than anyone besides Neil Price. So
Yeah.
One of the wonderful things about Scion is, although, I joke about the fact that I missed it, is the choosing which god your character descends from, which pantheon they're connected to. It can have such a defining defining part of your character's arc is which background they have, how they relate to other children of other gods, and you have your Norse pantheon, your Aztec pantheon, Chinese, South Asia, all kinds, and every subsequent Scion book is going to have more, if unless I'm mistaken. Is that the case?
No,
Dixie?
I am fairly certain, I don't want to name any names as far as which pantheons they're going to be doing, but I am almost certain that there's going to be a few other ones. I know in the original Scion, they actually had, like, a folk hero pantheon that was, like, Paul Bunyan and Betsy Ross, like, all these, like, American folk hero type characters. Since, as we know from the book American Gods, there aren't really American gods. And then also, I think they had, like, the Knights on the Round Table, the King Arthur mythological characters as one of them. So I don't know what all they're planning for the upcoming stuff, and I don't want to say anything in case things change. But I'm pretty sure there are going to be some more and, kind of more interesting pantheons added in the future, although the 10 we have now are really cool and very well researched, so.
Absolutely.
Well, with character creation done, any questions, players?
Nope,
I don't
we're
think
good
so.
to go.
I think we know what we're about. Yeah.
Okay, well, before we just go off on another tangent briefly then, before we wrap up, one thing that's worth breaking down. Again, this this took, merely they had some prep, the players had some prep, but this took deciding concepts, the players' goals, or deeds in this case, through to assigning paths, deciding skills, attributes, and a special power. That's how you create a character in Scion. Rapid, and I particularly value games where you can create a character rapidly. But I believe that we have to finish up now. I believe Eddy is being dragged off back to the pits of hell from whence he came.
Right, exactly. That's exactly what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And our game is going to be set in the beautiful city of Miami. And something big and bad is going to happen very early on in our story. What I need to ascertain from the two players at this point is what Kian and what Faye are doing late at night in the Mandarin Hotel in South Beach, Miami.
What time of the year is this?
It's going to be summer. So it could be summer break.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe it's he decided to skip classes for the summer, just to kind of get his head together, and went down with a bunch of friends in Miami to do the usual early 20s things, go out there, get drunk, make some bad decisions.
I'd say I'm there for a punk show, so I'm at the hotel with some of my friends at like an after party type thing. There's a couple of my friends and I drove down, see a show, hang out.
Okay.
So maybe, how about this? Maybe say maybe that turns out one of our friends, we have a friend in common inadvertently. So I got dragged along to the after show.
Sure. So we can start in the same place if you want.
Yeah. So we're at the same party when it starts.
Yeah, I think that works. You're an after party. Your mutual friend is a lady by the name of Liza Washington, or just Liza works, and she's introduced the both of you already. You're at the bar on the third floor of the Mandarin. And the Mandarin Hotel isn't the Ritz. It's not top class. It's not the Four Seasons, but it's on South Beach, so it's pretty damn expensive. So you've both gained money from somewhere or other. Maybe you've just shared rooms with a whole bunch of other tourists to stump up the fee, but it isn't the most high class. Now, Miami, of course, South Beach, well known for its cabana bars, for its the heat haze off the road, for its long shoreline and beautiful sea, sparkling blue, and of course, complete propensity for violent crime. Now, Miami in this game, in this story, is going through a bit of a heat wave, as it sometimes does at this time of year. The sounds of mambo music coming from the streets are going to be blaring all night, all the way through to the dawn hours, but the cocktails never stop being served because this is a tourist place. Mm-hmm. If you come to South Beach, if you're not drinking in the hotel, you're drinking in the street, or you're drinking on the beach.
Right.
And all those outdoor bars, they're fantastic. But you've turned in. This after party is in the Mandarin Hotel itself. A whole bunch of you are just taking it easy, relaxing a little after seeing a fantastic show. And that's when it happens. That's when disaster strikes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, indeed. No warning, no alert, no sirens blaring. Yeah, the wind picks up a little. There's a brief shower of rain that's atypical for a heat wave like this, but certainly no one calls attention to it. At least not in time, not on the third floor of the Mandarin Hotel. The first you become aware of it is the sudden rattling of windows. The Mandarin overlooks the seashore. And the sudden blast of glass inward. You may have witnessed or experienced something like this before. You've probably seen something like this on the news. You've all heard of tsunamis, of typhoons, of hurricanes, especially in this part of the world. But maybe you've never been right in the center of one. And certainly you've always thought they came with a little more warning than this. This seems... You don't have enough time to really think that this seems unnatural, but it is. The hotel, the entire South Beach, is blasted with a sudden gale, with a sudden storm, with a hurricane that hits your hotel, and it's not even minutes. It doesn't take a minute for the hotel to get rocked. These buildings aren't expensively made. They're not made to last. Beams start collapsing. Floors start to buckle. People are screaming. Lights are flickering. You can hear the screams out on the streets as well. Occasionally you see something far too heavy to be airborne whiz by the window. There's a cacophony of noise and motion. 1 minute, you are stood at the bar, listening to the barman, a tender by the name of Tully Grant, telling you all about his night. 1 minute later, people are laying all over the place. Heavy furniture is pinning some people down. A bit of wall has collapsed. All the windows are blasted open. And the wind has not stopped howling outside. Over to you.
Sorry, I had to unplug my Alexa.
Did you think there was a hurricane coming?
I think so. I was waiting for her to start giving the weather report in Atlanta. So I'm probably going to first try to see if everyone around me is okay. I mean, everyone's, there's a difference between being freaked out that things are slamming around and moving around, and the other thing, and people are like, critically injured, need medical attention. So it's kind of the instinct of, okay, look around. Is anyone badly hurt? Obviously hurt.
Yeah, definitely. It's best to almost describe this as an attack. It certainly feels like it. There's already a healthy dose of paranoia about such things. Has left your mutual friend. You, as a medical student, can see the signs. You can tell when someone's body is bent in a shape that it shouldn't be, and a piece of ceiling, a piece of rebar from the ceiling had, in the blast, gone straight down, smacked her in the head. She's still intact, but motionless, and you don't think she's going to be finding movement again. She's far from the only casualty. The barman you were just talking to, the wall behind him has fallen on him. You can see that some people are pinned by heavy furniture. Even the glass that blew in from the windows has clearly lacerated several people. The amount of screaming that's going on is unlike anything you've ever experienced before. In fact, the motion has all but stopped. People are dazed from what's happened. Could have been a bomb blast. But no, the wind outside is still howling. Definitely a natural disaster.
Okay. Then Keen's probably going to immediately go into triage. It's like, okay, it's unfortunate that, our mutual friends are deceased, but it's like, okay, gotta go for the people who need treatment now. So he's going to, first thing is just try to find something around they can use for equipment, like, bar rags. They can get those clean somehow. Is there alcohol under the bar or something? Anything you can find.
There's plenty of alcohol, plenty of bar mats, and if you particularly want to go up to the window, although that may seem a little too dangerous, you could even drag down some of the heavy drapes that were tied up.
Okay. Then I'll start doing that.
I'm going to focus on the people who are pinned but seem to be moving and lucid. To try to start getting furniture off of them.
one of the other attendees at this party, which you hadn't seen her at the concert, but she was definitely at the after party and had been speaking briefly to Kian, another Irish woman by the name of Aileen. You can see that she is trapped under the partly collapsed ceiling. She'd been making friendly with him for the last hour or so, but certainly I doubt she's in the mood for that now. She's buried pretty much up to her middle of her back. You can't see her legs under the rubble, but she's conscious and she's reaching out towards Faye as Faye's eyes connect with her, and she's saying, "Please, please, please, just pull me out."
Okay, and try to pull her out. Strength is not my strong suit, but if not, I can try to get things off of her. So yeah. Give me to roll for this?
Yes, please.
Am I rolling?
You are rolling. You are the first dice roll of the game. So what skill and what attribute do you want to pair for this?
That's my issue with skills. I said I made this a very social character. I have nothing that's really helpful. Leadership? Try to get her out, maybe? Try to convince her to get out?
Yeah, you might want to convince her, can you move your legs? Can you help with this? That kind of thing. I think that's doable if you pair leadership with, what are you thinking?
Probably just might.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Let's try that.
Yay, story path.
Yay, story path. Oh, 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, nice. Obviously, there is a complication involved in this. Should have announced that first, given that there's a great amount of rubble on her, but 2 successes is enough to nullify that complication. 1 success.
Buy off the complication, 1 success.
Exactly. Is enough to start shifting her free. Luckily, the rubble on top of her isn't heavy. She's not trapped by boulders on the entire weight of the ceiling. So you're able to pull her out, and you can see straight away. You don't need to be a medical professional to see that her legs are badly busted up. But it creates a small sense of satisfaction to know that you've at least freed her from imminent danger. She's thanking you, but you can see she's in shock. Her eyes keep rolling. She's stuttering over her words.
Yeah. Like, when you say busted up, can she move her legs, or are we talking like compound fractures?
No compound fractures. Again, it's just her legs aren't moving. You've dragged her free. She's shown no movement below the waist.
Okay. Ask her if she can move her legs.
No, I can't move them at all.
Okay. I'm gonna call Kian over. Kian.
Yeah, okay. I got a couple things.
Okay.
And he rushes over, and like in the moment of like, I have take it up here, knack. One of my knacks is with a glance. Diagnose what is wrong with an ailing target, any pertinent medical information. So I can immediately just go, kind of like House MD, bing, and immediately what's wrong with you.
Fantastic. Okay. Well, in that case, yeah, you can see that the fact that she's not able to move her legs, your initial instinct is, oh God, is her back broken? But you give her more than a glance. No, there is motion there. You think her legs are broken. Both of her legs are broken, probably her femurs. But the fact that there is a little bit of motion there means it's potentially recoverable. You can't see any blood, so there's no compound fractures, as already pointed out. But the fact that she can't move her legs may just be a symptom of the fact that she's still in shock after being buried under rubble.
Yeah. So I'm gonna be like, good news is, looks like it's not gonna be permanent. It's gonna hurt for a while, but I need you to work with me on yours. Okay, so I need you to, start talking her through. It's like, I need you to calm down. And basically, my main goal here is to get her to relax a bit more, because it's a very scary situation, so that I can then start to help her out.
As you're talking to her, essentially applying a bit of bedside manner, she's leaning in, and through her dazed, disorientated state, she's saying, please, you've got to get me out of here. You've got to get me out of here. I need to get out of here. need to get out, and then she's on the verge of passing out.
Okay. Honestly, I'm probably going to actually, as I'm working with her, because it's going to be very painful, I'm going to actually probably be a little rougher than I need to be to kind of help nudge her into the passing out. It's probably better for her if she's unconscious. If she's not moving as much, she'll be feeling pain.
That's true. There's not very much you can do about internal bleeding, if there is any, from where you are right now.
Right. But if she's trying to leave or escape, she may get up and try to walk on her legs, which would make things worse.
Exactly. You make her comfortable, as comfortable as she can be in this bar. At the same time, an old man, Latino fellow, who you had encountered earlier, introduced himself as Hector. He runs up to Faye, seeing that she's up and about and helping people. Says, Please, young lady, my wife, she didn't come back from the restroom, and it's behind that collapsed door frame, and please, can you help me get through to her?
Sure. I'll go check on that. Yeah, tell him just to sit down, calm down. I'll go see what I can do. I will start heading that way.
So yeah, as described, the doorway to the restroom has the door frame has collapsed, and the plaster work above it is bulging rather dangerously down. Looks like it could just fall straight through at any point.
Is there still a door there?
No, that's fallen. It's been basically splintered off its hinges when the frame just collapsed around it. You're looking at a frame that's more M-shaped than rectangular.
Right. Is there anything that's like smaller than the door that I can use to just kind of like put over my head to walk in there, like a turtle?
Chair.
So I can. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go in there with something over my head in case plaster starts falling on me. And I'm gonna just start calling around and say, is anybody in here? What does it look like once you're inside?
He calls out after you. Her name is Livia.
Okay, Livia, you here?
Help! Help!
Okay.
You can hear the voice of a distressed old lady in the ladies' restroom.
Okay, we'll move toward the voice.
The room is pretty much intact, thankfully, but you can see an old woman. She's sat on the floor. She's clutching the sink, and she's just terrified. She's shaking. Please, I'm so scared.
Okay, well, I'm gonna try to get you up. Your husband's waiting for you in the other room. Come on, can you walk?
Yes, yeah, I think so. I think I can walk. She pulls herself up and holds onto your hand, and she's shaking like it was going out of style.
Okay, I'm gonna use what?
Empathy.
I was gonna say I'm gonna use leadership and manipulation to just give her like a little bolster talk.
Oh yeah, that makes sense because everything's gonna be fine. Everything's wonderful. Nothing's gonna go wrong.
Everything's gonna be great. Your husband's waiting for you. We're gonna get you home. You guys see your great kids? It'll be awesome.
Exactly.
I'm telling the truth about all of that.
It'll be totally cool. And I'm gonna hold the chair over her head as we're walking out. But
here's a complication. Suggested by viewer Malcolm Shepherd, someone we all know. I have severe claustrophobia. I have severe crush syndrome. I hate being in enclosed spaces like this.
Okay. Well, let's get you out of here. 3 successes. I have leadership and manipulation is kind of my jam. So yeah, 3 successes so I can buy it off. No, 4 successes. So yeah, 4? I buy it off.
Oh,
and
nice.
I still have 3 to work with.
Very nice. Okay. She looks at you earnestly. She bites her lip. She nods. So okay. I'll go with you. I trust you. I trust you. Please just keep me safe.
I'm gonna let her walk kind of like ahead of me. Like I said, I'm gonna hold the chair over her. So if anything does start to fall, I can try to like catch it and move it to the side. I'm probably stronger than this old lady.
Yeah, almost definitely. There are a few collapsing pieces of ceiling and ceiling tile, but connect with the chair and the floor around you.
Mhm.
But yeah, you managed to help her avoid getting her head caved in.
Yeah, weather's super weird in Miami, huh? Yeah, let's get you home.
As you get her out to the main bar again, it's like her fear dissipates, and she runs over to her husband and holds him in her arms. And it's a sweet moment in an otherwise tragic tableau. As again, things aren't improving outside, and due to the flickering of the lights, clearly when the hurricane hit the hotel, it's something has either collapsed on the generator or severed the main power line or something like that, because the lighting in here is very unreliable, and it makes the situation more tense. For anyone already experiencing fear here, they aren't helped. There's a few people who have now taken to looking out of the windows despite the storm raging outside. One of them turns back, deathly pale. Oh God! It's. I think the hotel is in the sea. I think we've been hit by a tidal wave or something. I can't see where the land starts. Just looking down. I mean, it's dark out there, but anyone who was out there on the beach or in the road must just be gone.
Okay, I'm definitely going to go to the window now, even though it's dangerous.
Yeah, I have to go look.
Clearly, he's obviously nothing bad could possibly be happening here. He's probably just exaggerating.
Yeah.
You go over to the window, and it is still blowing a severe gale outside. You're not sure you're in on the edge of a hurricane anymore. You may, in fact, be in the eye of one. Because looking down, the front of the hotel is being buffeted by the sea, and it hasn't withdrawn yet. So escape through the first floor is unlikely. How to get out of here, you're not sure, or whether to just stay and wait for the correct authorities to come and rescue you. They're not going to be coming anytime soon in a storm like this.
That'd be a fun Scion game, right? If you just sat here waiting to be rescued for the next 2 hours.
Right. We'll wait for the authorities.
You're not heroes. Yeah, you're not heroes yet.
Just gonna sit here and play on my phone.
Does the water like it's okay? Can we get out of this bar?
Yeah.
Or we're completely trapped. Okay, so we can leave. I'm going to head to the staircase, and mainly I'm going to try to get as far down as I can until I hit water to get a sense of if the water's rising in the building.
As you head towards that staircase, there is a man running up it. He looks terrified. He grabs you and he says, "You look strong." He looks over his shoulders.
I get that a lot.
Look, I need to get something from my room. I really need to get something from my room. I can't lose it in this storm. It's just a few floors up. Can you come with me? I'll pay you. I will pay you. Just, we can't get distracted by anything or anyone else, but you need to come up with me to my room right now.
Sure, buddy. I mean, I'm happy to help out. What do you need? Because we need to figure out how to get out of here and everything.
That doesn't matter as much. I know that this probably sounds insane, but trust me. Look, I can make it worth your while. We need to get up to the 5th floor. There's only 2 floors up. We just need to get up to the 5th floor, and I will make it worth your while. But we need to move fast.
Sure. 1 sec. Let me grab someone to help us out. I'm gonna head back. It's like, hey, Faye, right?
Yep.
Could you do me a favor? There's a guy who needs something up on the 5th floor, and look around quick. I'd rather not go by myself, if you know what I mean. I could use someone else to keep an eye out.
There's still people trapped here. What do you?
I know. Let's figure out what this guy wants. Get him calmed down, and then also get a chance maybe get to the roof and see if we can get a better view of what's going on.
Yeah. Okay. I guess seeing what's happening is good.
It's like 5 minutes, and I just.
Now that Hector and Livy are calmed down too, I'm going to try to see if Hector can start maybe helping some of the folks who are pinned under smaller things.
That's a good idea.
He seems nice.
And actually, you had, if I remember, you had some extra successes. Maybe you can use those to kind of give Hector an enhancement to kind of say, hey, help him calm down the room too.
There we go. Yeah. I forgot I could do that in Scion. Thank you, Eddy. Yeah.
That's all the joy of story path.
Yeah, I'm going to use some of my enhancement to kind of try to extend that calm to Hector and be like, hey, let's do whatever the nice girl tells you. Like, try to see if anybody needs anything, see what you can do. If anybody's bleeding, there's probably a first aid kit under the bar. Like, do your thing. I'm just going to go for a minute. I'll be back. I'm not leaving. Okay.
I'm not going to make you roll or anything like that for that, because I think that's a good idea. Using the extra successes, having calmed Hector and his wife, both of them are now prepared to do their bit and help anyone else who's injured or otherwise trapped. Unfortunately, it does seem most of the people who have been trapped under masonry aren't going to be getting up. But it's the people who've been lacerated by glass mostly who need the assistance, and Hector and Livia are able to aid in that.
Yeah, I can really tell them, say, hey, just take these, put pressure on these things. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
No.
Here's some bar napkins. Here's some whiskey. Here's Band-Aid kit. Have fun.
Okay, so you both head out to the stairwell where you are met by your new friend. Who's this?
Just a friend of mine. We're just gonna help you get your thing so we can get done back here as fast as possible. Figure many hands make light work. Let's go. Show us where you need to go.
All right. Okay. I don't have time to argue. We need to get up to the 5th floor. I'd appreciate if you go ahead. I'll go between the two of you if that's all right. I don't want to be taking point. I'll pay you. I'll make it worth your while.
Yeah. I mean, sure, no problem. I kind of look over his shoulder, like to Faye, like, sure, yeah, everything's fine.
Yeah, sure. I mean, at least he doesn't want to go behind us. So yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
For all intents and purposes, this guy looks like a businessman. He's still wearing a suit from work. It doesn't look like he's been out partying in it. And he looks as disheveled and unruly as most of the other people around here, albeit with probably a day's worth of sweat. Certainly, he looks very unsteady about everything that's going on. So you ascend the staircase, reaching the 4th floor. And it's only as you reach the 4th floor that you truly come to appreciate how badly this hotel has been hit. Looking down the corridor, you know how hotels are built, of course, or how they're laid out, I should say. And it's not easy to see from a stairwell all the way to the other end of the building. Usually there's lots of winding corridors between rooms if it's not some leisure facilities floor. And this is a floor just built for hotel rooms. And yet you can see, if you look to your right, the open front of your hotel. The wall above the 3rd floor has just come clean away and presumably collapsed into the sea or blown off. It's been stripped clean off the building. The ceiling is, again, bulging downward in an incredibly threatening way. And you can see there's at least a dozen rooms between you and that open front wall. And those rooms may contain people. And the ceiling is just on the verge of collapse. Looking left, the hotel towards the rear, you assume, is looking slightly safer. But the front of the hotel has been hit hard by this disaster. Don't worry about that. That's not our concern. We just need to go upstairs again. We need to get to the 5th floor.
What is in your room that could be so important? There could be people, like families, in here.
I'm sure they're absolutely fine. I'm sure that they aren't going to get caught up in this at all. any more than they already are. I've got something very valuable to me. I've got something very valuable to me in my room safe, and I need to get it before anyone else does.
Look at Kian.
Yeah.
Also would be like,
Listen, I know, I can see why you're not going to trust me, so he reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a wad of bills.
oh, okay.
Okay. A big gun.
That's definitely what I thought was about to happen.
Yeah. He puts his hands up. But I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I certainly didn't mean to threaten you. No. He pulls a wad of bills. How much? How much to just? Everyone on this floor will be fine. I'm sure they will be fine. Emergency services will be here soon. I've got this money. You name your price. Just let's go upstairs, please. Let's get to my room. Get to my safe, and then you can do whatever.
All right, look, I don't want your money. You keep giving me money. I don't want your money. Just promise me once we get this, whatever the effect, this thing is so important, we can come back down here and check on people. You help us get people out of here. We'll get your thing, but then you got to help the two of us start getting people out of here. That's my deal. That's my payments.
Fine. Yeah. I'll come back down here and I'll help you with people in their rooms. Yeah.
All right, then let's do it. Let's go.
As y'all start walking up the stairs, I am gonna at least like bang on the wall or on like the one door nearest me and yell real loud. Like, if you're near the front of the hotel on the 4th floor, you might want to get the fuck to the back. Like,
yeah,
give them at least like a warning, because someone yells in a hotel corridor, all the rooms can hear it. So
right, yeah, 'cause it echoes.
Yeah, give it a bit of a scream. There we go.
There's you hear some shouts and screams from the rooms, not as a result of your banging on the wall necessarily, but without seeing inside the rooms, you don't know what damage has already occurred in there.
Right.
And in a way, it's a dreadful thing to even consider that someone might just be trapped in a room and no one's going in to help them. But you have said you'll be coming back down here, and
He's coming back down.
It's your word.
I mean, this should take us all of 45 seconds, hopefully, if his room still exists.
There's nothing obvious or nefarious in that room, I'm sure. Let's quickly go in there, get his passport or whatever, and then be gone.
Yeah. So you go up to the 5th floor. The 5th floor is remarkably well preserved compared to the disaster zone that is the floor below it. And indeed, looking out to the right, as you did before, again, the wall is absent, so it appears that the wall was sheared off from pretty much the 4th floor up, but the ceiling isn't showing as much damage. The floor has taken a bit of a shallow U shape where it appears the floor is at some point just going to collapse down. But the walls, there's no cracks showing, no doors hanging open. There's people bustling in and out of rooms. Some of them are carrying luggage, making their way down the stairs, trying to clearly make their way towards the exit. They're ignoring you. I mean, why would anyone head up at a time like this?
Right.
But no one is asking you for help. You're largely just being ignored.
Okay.
My room's near the front, but I'm sure it's going to be safe. He gets his room key out, sliding card.
God damn it.
This way round, this way.
Worst time.
He's fucking... He makes his way to the room. He keeps looking over his shoulder, and when he sees you, he smiles and he puts the key in the door.
Picking this face the whole time, just
right. Yeah. I'm getting ready to punch this guy if I have to.
I mean, I was just at a punk show. I'm probably in like combat boots and a ripped up t-shirt. How I always dress.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I think
angry.
You're fresh off a mosh pit, so you're ready for the shit.
He laughs nervously as he's being buffeted by rain and wind from the open wall beside him. the key's not working. The key's not working. I know it's a big favor to ask, but could I ask for you to help me put my shoulder to the door, find a fire axe or something like that?
No, let's just bash it down. We don't have time.
Yeah, you're bigger than me. You do it.
Yep. I mean, granted, I'm not that much bigger. I only have might at 2, but I do have athletics of 3. So
Yeah.
That famous sport of bashing down doors with your shoulder.
right. More of a hurdling guy, but sure, we'll make this work.
That's how you tackle people. Shoulder.
2 successes actually.
Okay, and he is assisting. I'm going to make a roll for him, and I'm going to use my Vampire the Requiem dice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I've been using my Vampire the Masquerade dice.
Ooh.
Guys.
I've been using my Trinity dice.
Look at all of us with our geeky dice.
That's being on brand.
Yeah. It would be product placement if we sold these.
Yeah, right. The products no longer exist. We're so good at this.
Avoiding complications. Both of you. Oh, and that die is lost forever. Avoiding complications, you are able to crack the door from its security hinge, and it swings open. The entire front wall of his room is gone. And there's no bed. Presumably that's been scooped up and swept away.
Why did we break down the door? We could have just walked around the
Yeah, you could have left the hotel.
just stopped around the wall.
You're only on the 5th floor.
I'm sure it won't be blown off into the sea. It'd be fine. It would have been fine.
Luckily, there's a lovely uniform set that exists in every single hotel room where, as you were walking through the door, on the left are your clothes hangers, your safe, your minibar and fridge and desk, and on the right would be the bathroom and the bed. Well, the bathroom and the bed have taken a rather nasty knock, but the clothes hangers, minibar and fridge are still intact. And he looks out the window and he says, "Thank you." Or out the window, out the gaping chasm into the hurricane, and says, "Thank you." And then he starts pressing buttons on the safe.
Okay. Wait for him to open it, because I got to see what this is now.
He opens the safe with a click. There's even more bundles of cash in there, and he leaves them to pick up a yellow envelope and stuffs it in his coat pocket, in his jacket pocket. Right, let's sort out the people on the floor below, at which point you hear a loud creak. You feel it as well as the floor starts to give way beneath you.
Running.
Could you both do athletics and, I think, dexterity?
Sure.
Good thing I have dexterity.
Whoop. Yikes.
Yikes on bikes.
I have a success.
I rolled a 2, a 3, a 3, and a 5.
So Eddie got a
This is a fun game. Thanks for running, Matthew. Really appreciate you running the game for us.
And the hotel collapses on you. Your adventure ends here.
Dangerous, up into the sea.
Play Scion.
I hope this gave you a good impression of what the game is. Well, I'm gonna, despite this guy's nature, I'm gonna roll for him as well. Just to tell you what he got a 4, a 6, a 6, and a 4. So as the floor buckles and you try to outrun the disaster around you, both Faye and your new friend, who has so far gone nameless, start collapsing through the floor. The floor gives way and they start slipping down into the floor below. Kian, you narrowly make the precipice as the floor collapses below you. You only got one success, however. So on your complicated fail, you are basically clinging on by your fingertips in the seconds that it takes for your companions to fall through the floor below. Are you going to fall with them or try and climb up?
No, I'm going to go for a controlled fall.
Okay. Let's go for a dexterity and athletics again then, I think.
All right. Come on, do better. There we go. 3 successes.
You tell those dice.
Somehow you manage to control your fall and land on a bed below you. It's a small miracle, or maybe the gods are smiling in your favor. One cannot say the same for your 2 companions who land and end up bruised on the ground below. It could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. And you're not sure how long this 4th floor is going to remain intact, given that it's just had a 5th floor fall into it.
Hey, we're in the right place now to start knocking on doors, though.
That's the kind of optimism I like to see.
So it's quick note, since we're all learning the rules, also showing how to do the rules. Every time you take an injury condition, you have to specify what that condition is. Mm-hmm. So you mentioned they were bruised. I'm guessing, are we talking like scrapes and bruises? Are we talking like twisted ankle?
I'm going to say that your new companion has a twisted ankle and Faye has scrapes and bruises. Because
I wear combat boots, so it's hard to twist my ankles.
Exactly.
Smart. See?
It's a real life hack.
Life hack. If ever you're falling through a building in a hotel, wear combat boots.
Yeah, make sure you're dressed as for a rave.
I didn't say platform boots, I said combat boots. I've got like steel-toe Doc Martens on. What?
Yeah, actually, if you're wearing platform boots when you fell through a ceiling, you probably would twist an ankle.
Yeah, that's probably worse.
Yeah. You see Faye and your new friend laying there, groaning, complaining.
I'm gonna check them. Yeah, I'm gonna check them. Oh, screws and braces. Okay, stand up, Faye. You're fine.
I'm fine.
Our friend up, and he stands up. He's like, "You're not gonna walk. So just, can you make your way down to the bar again?"
Yeah. I can do that.
Cool, because you're gonna be useless to me. So go.
The door to the room that you've fallen into is still there, but then it opens, and there's a woman stood there, and she looks at the 3 of you as if you have just intruded into her hotel room.
I mean, we have, but also what?
And then she says, "Oscar," and points at him with a finger, and she puts her hand in her purse. And she pulls a gun out.
I knew there was a gun. All right, so hands up. Whoa.
What's happening?
Don't shoot Oscar. He's a jerk, but probably doesn't need to die.
We don't actually know that.
Okay, we have other things going on besides whatever this is.
She takes a sniff of the air, looks at the both of you. Olives and freshly cut grass. How delightful.
I have, obviously, if you had a concussion, I can help you.
Oh, shut up. Oscar, you know what I want. I know why you were upstairs to get it. Hand it over, and I won't kill you. Oscar, propping himself up on the bedstead, given that he has only got one working ankle, looks over to the 2 of you. I'll pay you. I'll pay you so much if you rush her.
No.
She points the gun at you. Try. Just try.
Yeah, I'm not rushing someone with a gun. I don't even know her. I don't know what's going on.
He's stolen something from my dad, and I'm coming to take it back. So you 2 stay where you are. Oscar, hand it over, and I won't kill you.
Okay, so to get a sense, are we all like kind of in a very easy arc with the gun, or does she have to like move a little bit between us?
So you are sat on the bed still.
Right.
He is leaning on the bedstead, and I would assume Faye is, I guess, at the foot of the bed. So as she stood in a hotel doorway, and the hotel room isn't that big.
Right.
She's not going to have to do a 90
So she'll have plenty of time to move a gun around.
Yeah.
If try to jump from the bed all the way to the doorway.
But think of it like this: another life hack. Can't shoot all three of you.
I'm pretty sure they frown on that in medical school. I'm just saying. I don't know for certain, but I'm pretty sure that's in the
maybe
rules
she
somewhere.
can.
Thou shalt do no harm. Thou shalt not sacrifice their friends' bullets. I think it's in there somewhere.
He's not our friend.
No, you are, ostensibly.
Can
More of a friend than this guy is.
Okay. Can I leave, lady? There's still people trapped in here. I want to go help them.
You guys sort this out now. We gotta go.
I can't let you get behind me. For all I know, you're in his employ. Oscar, give me that fucking necklace now.
This is over jewelry? Really? There are people dying. We do not give a shit about your necklace.
Kian. I think it's another fucking god thing.
What?
You. Seriously, World of Scion. We all know gods exist.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Social media.
My bad. Rewind.
Yeah. I think we've stumbled onto a fucking one of those things. One of those.
Oh God.
Those people.
I do not have time for this god shit.
No, if this was any other time, I'd be happy to have the discussion about how you're not so removed from this yourselves. But I don't. There's a hotel collapsing.
Yes.
Oscar's putting his hand in his pocket. Please, he says to her, no, I'm asking, please give me the necklace. And he puts his hand in, he gets the yellow envelope. Throw it to the floor, but to my feet. I'm not going to catch it. He does so with a bit of a sob. She leans down, keeping the gun on him, picks the envelope up, puts it in her purse. I'm going to leave now, and you're not going to leave this room for another 20 seconds.
Sure, great.
Okay.
Go.
She backs out, and she disappears from the doorway.
Turn to Oscar. What the fuck is going on?
Can we walk and talk about this?
You have to wait 20 seconds. I don't want to get shot.
I am so dead. I am so dead now.
Who are you? What is this about? Why is there a necklace involved?
I'm just a thief. I'm just a thief, really. But I think I stole from the wrong person.
Yes.
And I think it's going to be very bad for all of us that they got it back.
Who's they?
Is this above or below collapsing hotel into the sea? I just didn't know for priority's sake.
But this hotel is nothing, but I'm pretty certain that this hotel was targeted because of it.
Oh my God.
So you're saying this hurricane thing is a god thing too? That would make sense. That came up real fast.
Look, I don't always know who I'm working for or what I'm doing. Okay, so stop judging me. All I know is that I've got lots of money and it comes to me from, I guess, pennies from heaven, and I'm prepared. I was prepared to give it to you for you to work for me, make a deal, make a pact. But no, wasn't good enough for you because apparently not everyone will do what you want all the time. But anyway, the most important thing, my new friends, you are my friends, aren't you?
Not your friend, buddy.
Is she doesn't have it yet. I gave her an empty envelope.
She's gonna fucking shoot us.
No, we just need
friends
to get
are
out
dead
here
upstairs.
now.
There's people trapped in here. Now I'm gonna get shot by a crazy woman.
It's been 20 seconds. I'm gonna go back and see I'm gonna go see if there's people that need help. And you can do whatever the hell you do. Find a new career.
Please don't leave me. What if I can't move? I'll get crushed to death in here. You've got to help me. You've got to.
You got a twisted ankle. You're not dying. Limp.
It really hurts.
I have a woman downstairs with 2 broken femurs, and she is showing more guts than you piece of crap. Get up, get the hell out of the room, give them the necklace, and go the fuck home. And I'm going to use composure and leadership. Because I'm had it with this. Motherfucking thieves and my motherfucking plane.
We were recently talking about how possible it would be to monetize this channel. Hello, viewers, and one of the restrictions is swearing.
Well, fuck.
If you had told me to run a clean campaign, I wouldn't have started swearing.
Right. One success.
One success. Fine. I'm going. It's fine. I'm not giving her the necklace, but I'm getting out of here, and I'll get out of here without you. I'm getting out of here without you, and you're not getting a cent from me. You did nothing for me. Nothing.
No. Yeah, sure. I didn't do anything, buddy. Just go.
Fine. Go. Leave me.
Okay. I'm gonna start knocking on these doors.
Yeah. We're gonna start knocking on doors.
You leave him as as he is, and as you're knocking on doors, the good news is it seems the majority of people who are on this floor have already exited this room if they could. A few doors down, you find a door that's not opening. When you knock on it, but you can hear as you knock on it, you hear, "Hey, help! Is someone there?"
Okay. Gonna shoulder this one down too.
Yep.
Want me to help you as best I can?
Yes, please. Unless you want to go back and get limpy.
Me and my 2 might.
Hey, you know what? You roll success like anybody else.
I'm gonna kick it real hard. 1 success.
I have one
Kicked
success.
it.
We kicked it.
Oh, I like that. The both of you kicking the door simultaneously. It's like a split frame from a trailer.
Boom.
Wham!
Finger guns.
And what you see on the other side of the door, we will get to after our break. Our players need regular breaks, and we're going to have our first one now.
Okay, cool.
So if you need to get a drink, need to get a top-up, need anything else, now's the time to do it.
I'll be right back.
And actually, now is also a good time for us to interact with people on the chat log and see what they think of the game.
I'll be back.
Okay. So I will interact with the people on the chat.
I told you I was gonna go if we took a break.
I know, I was joking.
Okay. I'll be right back.
So, let's see. What have we got here? People watching. Well, first of all, thank you very much for watching. I usually say that at the end of my videos, but thank you very much for watching along with this. We're playing Scion for a few reasons. One is because we created characters for it, I guess, about 4 or 5 months ago now. Two, we're very close to Scion 2nd edition being available on general release on Drive-Thru RPG and elsewhere. And 3, as mentioned at the beginning of this video, Dixie, Eddy, and I have never actually played in a game, all of us together. So this is quite a lot of fun. Given that we've been hosting the Onyx Pathcast together for a year now, we've been working together for longer as the in-house developers Onyx Path. It's nice to finally play a game together. That's all right, Meredith. Thank you for watching us. So yeah, now is the time, viewers, while the players are away, if there's something you want to suggest, an encounter for them to meet in the hotel before their inevitable escape or death, now's the time to suggest it before they know you're doing it. So let's see whether any of you can come up with something particularly dire. Oh, CRK 1142, what happened to the Tokyo Noir campaign? Two of my players moved away, but we are hoping to reprise it again very soon. We're all going to be getting together for a gaming day, and we will do some more Scion Tokyo Noir because that was going really well, but 2 people have to move away for work very, very short notice, unfortunately. But yeah, that's another Scion game. I did some recaps of that on this channel, so if you're interested in a bit of noir, a bit of horror set in Tokyo with Scion origin, then look up those recaps. There will be more of them coming in the future. Stray Reaper says maybe there should be a Kraken in the next part of this game. Maybe. Barnacles, says CRK1142. This isn't They Came From Beneath the Sea. Sebastian Morden would like to see some hotel staff who are trying their best to keep things under control but end up getting into their way without meaning to. It's not particularly horrific, but might be fun. Damn it, Eddy's back, so that's been ruined for him. But no, I quite like the idea. Something I said to the players beforehand is this game's going to be a bit like the Poseidon adventure, aside from the fact the hotel won't end up upside down. So I think having the occasional steward or bellhop getting in the way is a good idea. Malcolm Shepard says, yes, a buoy or buoy, as Americans like to say, that says Kraken Preserve up against the hotel would be great as a foreshadow. Yes, remember this is a Scion Origin level game. And now we will have them face the Kraken.
Right. It's like, and we're dead. Again, thank you for playing Scion Origin.
I like how Keegan Sullivan said that when the lady walked in with the gun, you should have drop kicked her Hot Fuzz style.
I was actually half debating it when I first asked it. I was just like, I could, but also then I'll get shot, and that's not good.
Picked up the steel chair.
Oh my God, he's got a steel chair!
Why is it in a hardcore match people don't come to the ring with knives or guns? It's no hold barred.
We joked about that actually during the Attitude Era when the hardcore matches were really good. It's like, when the hardcore belt was a big thing. It's like, and he shot him and pinned the corpse. Like, it's just,
but it's all right. He's the Undertaker. He can come back from that.
Right. There you go.
Josh Heath has mentioned something very, very much pertinent. I bet you're fate bound to Oscar now.
Oh God, no, please. But you're probably right.
Yeah.
It's like he's now fated to be the slimy thief that is behind, all of the problems we run into.
Yeah. And one time, yes, occasionally you will have cause to hire him. He is now Joe Pesci in the Lethal Weapon series.
Right.
For better or worse.
And yes, Cayman, I do talk fast. For those of you who don't know, I do have hearing loss, which means sometimes I end up going faster because I don't quite hear myself speaking. So,
and I talk slowly, so we balance each other out.
Right.
I talk fairly quickly too. I think that made, like I said, I think that made the 5-minute pitch episode of the podcast we did very unfair.
Yes.
Because Eddy and I had to say twice as many words.
Right.
I particularly enjoyed that episode. It was good fun. I could do lots of long lead-ins of
bastard.
All right.
We are back for part 2 of Scion Origin. And I think Malcolm Shepard viewing has completely gone They Came From Beneath the Sea with his view of how the ocean should be interacting with this game, with this hotel. So we'll be waiting to see the prefecture of the pod turning up next. It could happen. So where last we left our characters, not heroes yet.
Not a band yet.
Scions.
Our Scions, indeed. You had just mutually kicked in a door.
Mm-hmm. And it looked awesome.
It did. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And what you found on the other side of it will shock you. That's the BuzzFeed title of this episode.
10 things in this hotel room will shock you.
You'll never believe what happened in number 7.
I'm gonna have to think of 10 things you find in this hotel room. Anyway.
Apparently it's the ocean, necklaces, money, twisted ankles.
As we ascertained in a recent episode, role-playing games don't have to be fun.
Ever since you mentioned the necklace, all I can think of is the damn necklace from Titanic.
Great.
Now that you mention it, I think the necklace I had in mind needs a redesign. So have a big sapphire diamondy thing in the middle of it. So, going back to where you were, you kicked the door open, and in front of you, you were able to see a young man pinned beneath his wardrobe, and he's reaching out with one arm, but you can see the pool of blood underneath him is fast spreading. He must have something punctured, and he's just, please, please, I was drugged. I've only just got up, and then this happened.
Everything's fine. Faye, can you kind of talk him down while I get this off him?
Yeah. It's okay. My friend here, medical school. He knows what he's doing.
So I took something. I took something earlier tonight. He's looking at Faye, I guess, as if she's his nurse, while the doctor goes to work, and he's saying, "I took something earlier tonight. I was at a concert, and I completely slept through all of this happening until things started falling down around me, and I got out of bed, and then the wardrobe fell on me, and I think it's in my stomach."
What did you take?
It was just some downer, to make everything slow down a bit. After, because I took something, I snorted something earlier in the night, and I took a pill later in the night.
Were you drinking?
Yeah.
He's essentially on blood thinners.
Yeah. Shit. All right, let's get this off him. Do what we can. I guess athletics and might again.
If your main purpose right now is to get the wardrobe off of him, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think the chat room's right. This guy's gonna die, but let's do what we can.
I'll help you lift it.
Ooh, wow, 2 10s. Well, I got 2 10s.
I got 2 successes. Yeah.
That's 4.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I think the way it will work is, I guess Faye starts the lift, and Kian very much rights the wardrobe with his 2 10s. Yeah. And as you do so, despite this man's intoxicated state, he still lets out a shout rather than a scream as you pull the wardrobe off. A piece of the wood clearly splintered and sheared off a shelf and has just had impaled him. You feel the drag of it as you lift the wardrobe up because it's caught in him.
Oh, God. What have we done?
But it's not anymore as you've stood the wardrobe up. And despite all the various things you've been told, there's still mixed feelings on whether someone impaled should be left with the item impaling him. Frankly, in a disaster area like this, it's probably more important to get the person out of the disaster area. But now that the wood is extracted from his stomach, he is bleeding copiously.
All right, I'm gonna start grabbing blankets off the bed and just trying to stop bleeding as much as possible, and asking Faye, like, here, put pressure down here, put pressure down here.
Doing it.
So medicine and resolve.
Yeah, I think resolve actually makes a lot of sense because if anything, this is emergency triage, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. It's I have to carefully think about what's the best way to get this guy through the situation, ignoring all the other stuff around me. So resolve seems like a good strong one. Well, good, because I have 10 dice in this, so.
Jesus Christ.
It's my thing.
Yeah, you may you may
kidding me.
I was about to say you may actually save his life,
or
you may just kill him.
Reroll 10. Reroll that 10. Reroll that 10. Okay, so my success became 5.
Okay, it's as if fate smiled on you at the last possible moment in a very real and tangible way. As you you do something very crude with your first aid, and you stuff the wound. You use the blankets, you use the sheets. You know that it risks infection, but right now it's the risk of infection or the risk of someone bleeding to death in a matter of minutes.
Right.
And yeah, you have basically bunged up the wound with a small amount of bedding and wrapped it around him so tightly that you think it's going to at least staunch the wound for a while, but you are sure that it's pierced his organs.
Here, Kian. I'm going to take off my belt and give it to him.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And let him, like, belt it up so it can stay on. Maybe it's going to get out of here.
Yeah. Cheers. I'll pull that tight. Yeah, that'll help.
I helped.
He looks up at Faye. Still conscious, and he grips her lightly. You think he's about to pass out. He says, my girlfriend's name is Rosa Redwood. She isn't at this hotel. She lives in Miami. Please find her if I don't come through this. I'm so sorry I took those drugs. And he passes out.
Does he have like a wallet on the bedside table or something so I can find out his name?
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
What is his name?
What is his name? I'm gonna look at his ID.
Jeffrey Naylor.
He's my old ID for purposes of looking at. That happens to be sitting on my thing.
Nice prop. Good timing.
All right. All right. So, Mr. Naylor, is there anything else in the room? Are there 9 other things that will shock me?
like a gun or a necklace or money.
Well, if you want 9 other things, let's see. There's a small pot of pills. There is so that you have his wallet. So that's one thing. The wallet was shocking because let's say no, fuck it. There's just a wallet. There's some pills. There's a small bag with some clothes in. That's all you get.
Okay.
Can't glance at the pills and get a sense of what they are.
These look like prescription pills, like something like beta blockers.
Oh, okay.
All right, so he's unconscious. Do you want to try to carry him out of here? It seems like a pretty dangerous area.
Yeah, we don't want him flying out to the front of the hotel.
Should probably get him back to the bar and see if anything else has happened there, anybody's gathered there, because all those people that were going down the stairs earlier, I really doubt they got out the front door based on the level of the ocean.
Oh, I'm going to check the closet, see if there's an ironing board we can strap him to.
Oh,
look at you.
Yeah, that's initiative. Yes, of course, there's an ironing board. It's a hotel room.
Let's strap him down to that, and then we'll carry him on the ironing board downstairs.
Okay.
As you exit the room with your new companion, Jeffrey, strapped to an ironing board.
Already miles better than the last guy.
Well, unfortunately, you bump into Oscar, who's still hobbling down the corridor.
Oscar!
Oh, you're still here. You're still here. Thank the gods, you're still here. I think I've worked out a way for us to get out.
Is he gonna help stop this guy bleeding? Because otherwise, give me a minute.
There's not much I can do about him. I think he's. I've got a
cool, then
pretty
grab
good.
the end of the board and help me walk it downstairs to the bar.
It's really a 2-person job, and there's already 2 of you. I'll follow you down. Of course.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So talk and walk. Let's go. Aaron's working it, people.
Yeah, let's go.
So yeah, I had this fantastic idea when you left me alone, and I was thinking, should I just throw the necklace into the sea and hope for the best? I thought, no, that's stupid. You know, where's it going to end up? Some looter will pick it up or something like that. And obviously, yeah. So exactly. And so I thought, what's the best way of getting out of a hotel that's being bombarded with an unnatural storm whilst carrying an artifact that clearly something powerful doesn't want me to have, or at least they don't want it to be in this hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And what I thought is we've got to go up. We've got to go up to the roof. And maybe with something like these ironing boards, Maybe we strapped a few of them together. We could get to another building.
So to summarize, you want us to strap together ironing boards to go to the top of the roof in the middle of the storm that has sheared off, I like to remind you, an entire wall of this building.
Yeah, I think it's going to get worse.
To the next building.
Look, I'm not saying it's a great plan, but you look like you
It's
could
not
jump.
a plan. It's desperation and the loose guise of a plan.
Why is the next building better? Like, it's a storm.
The further away we get from the water.
So you want to use the water to get to a place that does not have water.
Oh, so you want to go across the street on ironing boards?
Exactly. Or we could try jumping, but I think it would be a bit too far. There's no gantries between these buildings. I checked. I went for something that was isolated, and unfortunately, that was my downfall. I can see that now.
Oscar. Do you know how many floors this building has?
7 or 8. I think 8.
7 or 8. Okay. So if you jumped off an 8-story building into water, it is basically the equivalent of jumping off this building into the street.
Yeah, except I think the water hates me a bit more than the street.
Oh, no, trust me. Right now in this room, the water does not hate you more. There are at least 2 other things in this room right now that hate you way more.
Have you ever heard of Poseidon?
Yeah, everyone's heard of Poseidon.
Yeah. Well, some people like to stay switched off to these kinds of things. I'm glad you're clued in, and your friend on that ironing board doesn't look very well. Now, as you're walking down the stairs and he's just wittering away, you're passing by people. Some people are going up the stairs, some people are going down the stairs. You can see some staff from the hotel who are attempting to be helpful and trying to rally the troops, trying to organize an escape. And what you do here quite clearly is you cannot escape via the first floor. Do not go down to the first floor. And some people are listening, other people are not.
Okay.
A bellhop actually stops you as you're about to get back onto the 3rd floor.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You really shouldn't go down there anymore, sir, madam. It's that people are heading up to the roof. And Oscar says, see, the roof. The roof is the place to go.
Are the people that were in the bar, were you able to get them out too? There was a woman there that with broken legs.
We've had to leave everyone who's too badly injured to move. We can't just carry everyone upstairs because the floors are collapsing. Right now, we think the safest place to be is going to be as high up as we can, because if we're at the bottom and the building falls on us, we're dead. So that's what the bellhop says. I'm not an architect, so what do I know? But
okay.
That's what the manager said, and I've not seen the manager since she said.
I'm going to tap into another rule of Scion here. I would like to make a leadership role to see if I can figure out if that's actually a smart move. But I want to use my EMT specialization in medicine because I can't use it for a medicine skill, but I use it for a different skill. And since it's emergency medical treatment technician, I probably would have learned some medical or emergency procedures. So I can kind of use a leadership role with my EMT training to see if it actually is smarter to move up to the higher floors or not.
It's a bit of a reach, but I'm always happy for a bit of a reach, so go for it.
Also, more just an excuse to try to use more of the rules.
I would like to point out at this point the viewers are suggesting surfing away on the ironing board.
Well, they can go with Oscar, because I'm not going to do that.
Someone else also had the best line that I really wish I had gotten to use at Oscar. It was, or we can use the feathers and in the pillows and some candles to make us some wings.
That worked well for the other guy.
Yeah.
So I have 3 successes, plus 1 enhancement gives me 4 successes.
All right. It's certainly an option. Now,
is it better or worse than?
Okay, so here is your, I guess, analyzed approach. If you are in the middle of a hurricane and the hurricane hasn't moved on, and it's very difficult to tell from within a building, going up to the roof is probably not a brilliant idea.
Right.
You are very small and a hurricane is very big, and you will not be lashed down to anything, and you will probably die.
Yeah, generally hurricane preparedness plans aren't go stand outside and really high up.
Yeah.
Figured that.
But
also,
likewise,
usually it's to go into as low as possible, but if low is not available, that's
Right.
different.
likewise, if you went all the way down to the first floor, being the ground floor, what little you know of tsunamis or big floods like this is not really the water that you have to worry about so much as everything that the water will be carrying with it. You would stand a very real risk of being crushed to death by everything that's being blasted into the first floor of the hotel. So the priority has got to be to get out of the hotel and get to somewhere open, but doing that in the middle of a hurricane is the tricky bit. I'm breaking this down for you because your other options are you can try and escape the hotel on a lower floor, try and find an intact fire escape, or just a door that leads out and down a staircase, or even just jump from a window from the second floor, but you're likely to hit water. Yep. Again, the benefit of hitting water outside a building is you're not going to get trapped as easily. But otherwise, your options are fairly restricted. You could hunker down, save as many lives as you can, try and make as secure a bunker as you can, and wait out the storm as well.
So Keen's just going to lay this all out to the staff and to Faye and else listening. It's like, I genuinely am not sure what to do. We don't get a ton of tsunamis in Maynooth, so...
So we still got our friend here. We still got some folks in the bar that we don't know if Hector and Livia helped anybody yet or not. So we should go at least check on them.
Yeah.
And try to get everybody to a central location. So got Oscar here, just talking at us. Our best friend Oscar. Oh, speaking of Matthew, I want to point out that one of my necks as a Scion is that I have a knack called Good Listener, where if I'm trying to get information from somebody or I'm talking to an NPC that might have a clue about something that we're doing, they will inadvertently drop it.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Very nice.
Okay, so essentially, so you'd basically be able to find out, cut through to the point of what he's getting at.
Yeah, or he just feels too comfortable talking to me, essentially.
Yeah,
we'll just kind of like that.
In that case, I'd like to do that now. He leans in to you while Kian is explaining, not just to the two of you, but I assume there's a small group forming up around.
I'm not telling everybody. It's like
we're like holding an ironing board, you know.
Yeah, there's a dying guy on it, as you do. It's a common sight in Miami hotels.
Wow. We
Oscar.
apologize in advance to everyone of our fans that lives in Miami.
I'm sorry, Florida man.
Oscar leans in and says, "You look a lot more practical than your friend, and I'm going to cut to the chase because I trust you. Okay?
Okay.
So this piece of jewelry I've got, it's supposed to belong, so I'm told, to one of these gods, this Poseidon person.
Yeah.
And I think that for as long as it's here, this storm isn't going to let up. I guess unless another god intervenes, and I don't know how they work. Not really.
So this is your fault. That's what you're saying.
Well, I didn't know this would happen.
Who did you steal it from? Was it that woman?
I actually stole it from someone else. I stole it from a group of, well, they consider themselves, I guess, these hero types, these heroic types, these people that go around gallivanting about these celebrities. As apparently it was worth a lot. I was supposed to be giving it to someone else. I'm just a fence. I'm just a thief in a fence. I do two things. I was supposed to pass it on to the person who was going to do something with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then she turns up. And that lady, Angel Deutscher, I think she's called. She's like she's one of these Scions. She's supposed to be the daughter of Poseidon, so I'm told. And she recovers things for her father. And to be honest, I think we're lucky we weren't killed by her, because she's got a bit of a temper like her dad.
But what you're telling me right now is that if you had just given her the necklace, this would all have probably stopped.
Yeah, but you don't understand. If I gave her the necklace, then people would have come after me.
So you chose you over the hundreds of people in this hotel and direct area.
I don't see a reason why we can't all be safe. You just need to get me out of the hotel with the necklace.
Want to just follow you?
Well, I'm prepared to take my chances. If I go further inland, what's Poseidon going to do? Isn't he a sea god or something? What's he going to do? Send seahorses after me? Sorry, I'm probably sounding a bit arrogant there, but I've got powerful friends, and they're not here right now, but I can hook up with them and everything will be right as rain. I just need to get out of this hotel.
Your powerful friends also Scion, hero, whatever types? Is that what you're telling me?
No. They don't like them. They're like anti-Scions. They like to screw with them, mess them up, things like that. I don't know. I don't get involved in that things. I'm just a kind of regular guy. I just steal things, sell them, that sort of thing. And this is just a deal that went a bit badly wrong, but there's no reason we can't all profit. This jacket is full of money, and all that money can belong to you.
I really don't need your money, just so you know, but
I think what you'd do if you had it.
I don't care. Whatever. Kian.
Well, yeah, let's start.
What are you thinking here? This is apparently this guy's fault.
Cool, throw him out.
Apparently Poseidon's after us. Or after him.
Whoa.
Poseidon? Like,
it's not my fault. I'm not Poseidon.
No, not you. Obviously you're not. I'm talking about... Okay, so catch me up. Poseidon wants the necklace.
Yes.
Right? Which Oscar has.
Yes.
So
apparently that woman was one of Poseidon's kids.
Yeah, that tracks.
So
have we already talked about throwing a necklace outside?
I mean, that makes sense to me.
Makes sense to me.
It sounds indirect to me. I mean, we might as well have just given it to her.
Which I believe we suggested several times.
Yeah, that's actually what we thought you did. Remember?
At gunpoint.
Remember when we thought you did that?
She's probably still in this hotel, so keep your voices down.
Cool, so we can give it to her now again.
She's got a gun. She's a violent woman. I'm not violent.
No, but you certainly inspired others.
Look, if you don't want to come up to the roof with me, second option, there's a fire escape on the next floor down. We can get to it. We can get out. You can be my bodyguards. We can make our way across Miami. We can all be rich.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. You've already pissed off the king of the sea by helping me so far. So he's not known for being forgiving.
I like how you so seamlessly shift between obsequious and blackmail, just without even skipping a beat. But all that said, it does seem like the only way we're going to get these people to a hospital is to get this storm out of here. And the only way we get the storm out of here is to get this necklace out of here. And the only way we get this necklace out of here is to get you out of here.
We always just take the necklace from him.
Somebody might bite somebody and then just might get an infection. I don't want to deal with that. Let's just... Okay, let's just go to the roof, see if we can see what's going on outside. Not actually go onto the roof, but like go up there and see if we can get a sense of just what the weather is like and see how dangerous that is. If that does not work, then we'll go back down to the fire escape. And we'll see what happens.
You want us to walk up 5 flights of floors carrying this guy on an ironing board?
No. Honestly...
It's around this point that you see Hector and his wife again. and when they see the both of you, they look immensely gratified to see that you're still alive. And Livia gives Faye a big hug.
Aww.
Oh, my saviour, my saviour. Is this someone else you need us to look after?
Yeah, are there people being looked after in the bar right now?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. There's no one else who's injured in the bar now. Well, we've treated them as much as we can. We're not doctors, but we've wrapped bar mats around people's injuries and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Is anybody else trapped or pinned that you couldn't get out, or is everybody that's moving and conscious at least okay?
Yeah, no one conscious.
Okay. Well, let's drop our new friend off in the bar.
Mm-hmm. And I guess we just keep this as a kind of a triage center for the time being, see if we can get this situation resolved. If so, bring everybody back here in one place.
Mm-hmm.
If not, then have to just go from there. But at least we have all of our wounded in one place that we know of.
You hear cracking outside, and it's not the crack of thunder, as although you do lightning now, maybe Poseidon is getting increasingly angry. It's the cracking of the building. The building itself is falling apart.
Oh, great. All right.
I'm not. If we're going up to the roof, we're going up to the roof to get out.
Yeah, we don't have time. We have to pick one of these.
How fast is? I mean, it's still nighttime, right? Like how fast is the water moving outside? If I look outside, like the water in the streets or what have you.
There's not a rushing, roaring rapids outside. It's like the sea reached forward and has yet to pull back. Certainly, more water is gushing from the sea onto the land.
So there's a chance of being dragged across, but not like you said.
You're not going to be buffeted by the water, no.
Then yeah, probably the fire escape's probably the best option, fastest option. Then going all the way up to the top.
Yeah. I don't really want to jump off an 8-story building.
Yeah, no, that's it. You're right. I think that's a better play. All right, that's it.
Can we use something as a flotation device? This is a hotel. Does anybody have it's a hotel on the water. Are there any rafts around or anything? Is there a pool?
That's a question.
Yeah, that is a really good question. It's the third floor is the leisure floor, as well as having the big bar. It's also got leisure facilities, swimming pool, that kind of thing. And so, yeah, finding flotation devices isn't that difficult. While you're unable to find a raft, there's plenty of floats that you can
ring.
Exactly. Yeah. That is definitely something you can do. Good thinking.
I'm gonna get one for myself. I'm gonna get one for Kian, and I'm going to leave Oscar to find his own.
I can see Oscar going, "Oh, hey, thanks," and she just goes right past him and hands it to me.
Don't forget, I have a broken ankle.
No, you have a twisted ankle.
Fine. Okay, let's go then. Let's go. We can leave these people behind. They'll be fine.
Yes.
You head down the stairs to the second floor, where everything is creaking and, again, cracking rather painfully. The walls are now showing cracks quite visibly through the paintwork. You're not sure how long the foundations of this building are going to stand, what's going on. You make your way to the rear of the building, where the fire escape should be. And the emergency exit door is already hanging open. Someone else has been this way. The steel staircase does still remain intact. It's still bolted onto the side of the building, and it goes further up as well. But most importantly, it goes down into the water. The sea is behind the building as well. as mentioned, it isn't rushing and roaring. You could make your way down into the water. Where you'd go from there, just, I guess, swim away as fast as you can, but you would be swimming against the sea.
So nothing nearby that we could easily reach.
There's some cars that you could probably jump onto the roofs of. You might even be able to make a fair distance of jumping between vehicles, providing they don't get picked up in the wind or swept away. You don't have to touch the water immediately.
If the water is rising and it's rising toward inland, wouldn't we actually be swimming with the water? If we were trying to move inland?
Yeah.
Good point. Yes, you would be moving with the water. The only danger would be if it suddenly pulled back.
Right, exactly.
But if we try to follow the cars, and if we, or even like go into the water, but stay alongside like the cars or where they're parked at. That way, if it does switch suddenly, we can maybe grab onto one of them.
I don't want to get crushed between two cars.
Yeah, that
is a really good point. That's a really good point.
Well, we need to move. We need to move before Angel notices I've got her necklace.
All right, let's just.
Still don't understand why we just don't give it back to Rambo and everyone.
Yeah, I'm still a little big on that point, but let's go. Let's go into the water.
I can't stop you if you just want to throw me in the water.
Okay.
Do you give him a push?
Yes, I do. I'm done with him.
You push Oscar off of the fire escape and into the water, and somehow he's surprised. As he's falling almost in slow motion. No. Yeah, no. One
It's
hand
like 8 feet.
It's his pocket to clasp this necklace as he's falling down, and as suggested, it is now going to be the Titanic necklace, at least visually. I thought you lost that in the ocean.
Wait, is it the one from the Britney Spears music video now?
That's even better.
Oh, baby, I went down and got it back for you. Well, this is what this game has become. He's holding it in his hand. It's in the breeze briefly. This splendid piece of metal and gemstone, almost within reach of you grabbing it.
Oh.
If you wanted to. You don't have to.
Oh.
It's very tempting.
It is very tempting.
It's a split second. Are you going to do it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I feel like it should probably go back to that woman.
Yeah.
I don't have athletics. I do have dexterity.
Here's an interesting question. Have we built up momentum yet?
That's a good point. We've failed, by my count, 3 rolls. So I think, yes, we do have some momentum that you could use.
You want to spend some of that?
Sure.
So for anyone who is unfamiliar with momentum, Eddy, why don't you explain to the viewers and listeners what momentum does?
So momentum is a pool of points that characters generate and when they fail on rolls. And then we can use it later to power knacks or boons, certain ones, or also in this case, Dixie can use it to spend momentum to add additional dice to her rolls for key rolls, like acquiring a necklace from a complete jerk. The rules actually, acquiring a necklace from a complete jerk is actually in the rules.
Yeah. So I used the momentum, which meant I got to roll 5 dice instead of 4, and I got 2 successes.
Okay. You grab the necklace. And the look on Oscar's face, again, this all happens within the course of about 2 seconds.
Somehow he's surprised.
The look on Oscar's face is, you're grabbing out to reach me. You know, you're reaching out to grab me. You're trying to save me. And then the slow motion. What the as he falls down, splash into the water, and in your after everything I did for you.
What did he did nothing for us.
You can't see him as he hits the water, which is strange. You don't think it's that deep, but you just can't see him anymore. But the necklace you keep in your hand, and it's heavier than it looks. It's not a beautiful, well-crafted piece of jewelry. It's quite brutal, and you can't examine it too closely in this dark night, but it certainly feels powerful in your hands.
Okay, so yeah, Keen's gonna be like, well, that I guess worked out. So let's find Angel.
Yeah, she's got to be in the hotel still, right?
Hopefully.
I mean, I don't know, because if she's one of those weird god people, for all I know, she can freaking fly. I don't know, but maybe she's still here. I don't know.
It's the first floor is underwater, but maybe there's maybe on the second floor somewhere. Hotels like this probably have some kind of broadcast system or something, tennoite, that we can say, hey, we have your necklace, please come to the bar, we can give it to you.
Oh, yeah. You're right. As long as the power stays on.
Right.
The power is intermittent. You think it must be powered by a generator, but the fact that it's intermittent means it is there.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So let's go and figure out this intercom system.
Yeah, the bellhop who was in the stairwell before is able to direct you to it, but he does want to know why. What are you telling people? We can't have the guests confused. They've all been told to go up to the roof, but I'm guessing that's not the best place for them to go. Are you thinking otherwise? Because the manager's just disappeared.
Trying to the best place for them to go, but also we're trying to resolve this. So,
short version is it's a god thing. We're trying to stop being god things so the storm can go away.
Yep.
And we lost Matthew.
Oh, this is going to be really hard to do without him.
Oh my God!
Storyguide.
Taking him. No, Matthew.
Matthew disappeared into the water.
Oh my God! I'm sorry. I never meant to push you off. I regret everything.
Matthew was Oscar the whole time.
But we do know Matthew loves the sea.
He has gone back from whence he came. And what's funny is that the thing that my camera is propped on is covering up where Matthew would be right now, so I didn't realize he had gone.
No, just as you were talking, his screen just went a little square box, and it's just like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah, no, this is a quality Pathcast content that we know people tune in for. I see that you're wearing your Onyx Path t-shirt. I was wearing mine yesterday, and then I went, what a fool I was to have worn it yesterday, not on the stream.
Curses. Luckily, I have a few from various conventions, so I have some options.
I mean, so do I, but...
Pugmire one, so...
Oh, I have that one.
Excellent. Oh, here we go. Matthew Dawkins.
Oh, yeah.
And yes, Sebastian, this is exactly how lost episodes happen.
Yeah. So I just need to check with the chat log. Can people see me?
Yes. I can see you.
I know you two can. I just want to make sure that the viewers can as well, because if so, that means the broadcast is still continuing as planned. So someone watching say, I can see you, Matthew.
There you go.
I've got an eye from Schrodinger's cat. Arr. And by the way, we will use this fine opportunity in recording to say, do check out Pirates of Pugmire, currently on Kickstarter, where aquatic adventures also take place.
Maybe you can fall into different acid seas, but if you much usual when it happens.
So anyway, so the bellhop asked us stuff, and we were like, long story short, God stuff, trying to get rid of God stuff,
right,
etc.
Yes, and apparently our images are no longer turning full size when we're talking, which is a bit of a problem, but we will make do, I'm sure.
Wait, so who's full size then? Who's like permanent full size?
I assume it's just not me. My image isn't turning up full size at all, but Yeah.
Like, I'm seeing you guys flip back and forth when you talk, so at least on my end it seems to be working.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll figure it out.
Wonderful, wonderful. All right, so those of you listening to this on the Onyx Pathcast, what fun. All right, only Dixie is in full size now. Full size Dixie.
And how often do you get to say that?
I'm just going to make a terrible face the rest of it.
It's stuck like that, just...
Yeah, I can try and fix it, but you know what? Let's just soldier valiantly on, and I'm sure Dixie will look plenty entertaining. You find exactly how theatrical. You find the intercom system as the bellhop directed you, and what do you say on it? You're basically in a staff office.
I'm going to say, Angel, to retrieve your missing item, please head to the bar.
To the people in the hotel at this point, it sounds like something very strange is going on, as there's clearly a natural disaster taking place in and around the hotel, and someone is reporting a lost and found.
We're so good at this.
Do you use the power of communication now that you have it to give any guidance to the other people in the hotel, or do you allow chaos to continue?
What do you mean, do I allow chaos to continue? It's not my fault. You have further instructions? I throw the mic at Kian, since he's the one that knows all about disaster relief, not me.
Anybody else, if you have injured, please bring them to the bar on the 3rd level. The 3rd floor.
Excellent.
You can tell them where to go or anything?
But there are maps around the whole...
Well, no, I meant like the people who were all going up top.
You're still broadcasting.
Yeah, when you put down, it's like, we sure want to do this? No.
As you continue this conversation, the bellhop sticks his head in the staff room. Your friend just showed up in the bar looking very angry.
Okay.
We'll
Wait, which friend?
The lady.
Oh, okay, good. I was afraid it was Oscar.
Yeah, not the wet guy.
It's just soaking wet. It just shows up. I have another idea.
Yeah, you threw me off a staircase.
I pushed you.
Yeah. Very important difference. So yeah, in the bar right now, leaning against it rather lazily, considering the hell going on, is the woman who's been identified to you as Angel Deutscher.
Hello.
We meet again.
We do. I have something that I think belongs to you that maybe will stop some of this from happening.
I hope it will, and I hope what you have for me is a necklace.
It is. We did not know he tricked you. We literally met that guy on the way to his hotel room, just so you know. Not compatriots. Nothing like that.
He does that, and he lies a lot, believe me.
Apparently.
It is in his DNA, you could say.
Yeah, he tried to get us to take it to his people, but we were like, I feel like if this is a Poseidon thing happening right now, we should just make Poseidon less angry. So
that is always a good idea.
I'm gonna hold out the necklace here. As far as I know, it's God stuff. I just want to make it over with.
Yep.
Thank you very much. On behalf of my family, she takes it. She puts it in her purse. She closes the purse. Well, the storm's not abating yet, but I think I... And we're back once again with the Renegade Master for the conclusion of Scion 2nd Edition. Well, this actual play anyway. So for anyone listening to this on the Pathcast, I don't know whether I'll edit this bit out or not, but just to recap what happened. Server issues. And so we're back. And we had last left our Scions as they had passed over Poseidon's necklace, or a necklace belonging to Poseidon, to his daughter, Angel Deutscher. And she explained to them that Oscar would probably show up again.
Gross.
Yeah.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah,
that's the kind of thing he does. And she explained that they were more connected to everything that was going on than they probably thought.
And Kian did not believe her. He was like, no, mm-mm.
It's fine.
For the record, we did some really great role playing for about 3 minutes before I looked up and went, oh shit, we're off the air.
Yeah. So this time missing episodes happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so as Kian and Faye went back to tend to their friend who was bound to the ironing board, Angel was leaving, and despite the young man's ill health, she leaned over and said that if you make the right offering to the right god at the right time, sometimes say a prayer, sometimes acknowledge the strands of fate that you're tied up in, miracles can happen, magic can be real, and that mortal wounds like this can not be fatal. And with that, she left the hotel, or at least the bar. And for the next few minutes, the storm continued unabated. And it felt very much like the hotel was going to crack and crash into the sea. But then, with a roar, the sea started drawing back. And the roar isn't of the water or the wind, it's of all the metal that's crushing against concrete as cars and lampposts and loose bits of debris are just smashed into the hotel and other buildings on the South Beach as they're dragged out towards the water. There's just an outrageous din of noise as the swirling winds and storms...
I got my phone to start recording.
Yeah. As the swirling wind and storms starts dragging everything back and wrenching it away from the sea that was on land and out to the sea that is in the ocean. And the hotel, a dilapidated hotel, ruined now, probably not the worst building on the South Beach, is left with our Scions within it and the people that they helped save. And I turn it over to you, the Scions. How do you act and react based on all this?
Look again. That was fucking weird, huh?
Yeah, that was... Do you think what she says is true?
I don't know. My mom died when I was a kid. My dad said. I hadn't talked to him in a while.
Yeah.
But I actually never knew her.
Yeah. I never really knew my father either.
That's something to think about. We could go harass my dad at some point. But we should probably go check on the people on the roof. And also try to get these people out of here.
Yeah, let's do that.
So. We always talk about this later.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make sure he has my number in case we get separated. In the next little bit here. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep.
Where most people would depart from a disaster area like this, get as far away as possible, try and return to a semblance of normality. Yeah, as you've just suggested, the two of you stick around, trying to make sure that anyone who is left in the building is safe, anyone who can be saved, anyone who hadn't been found yet gets discovered. You are, to be a bit poetic about the entire thing, heroes of the night. And whether that implies a divine lineage or just being a virtuous human being doesn't really matter. There's a lot of people that are very grateful to you. There's a lot of people that have taken notice of you and the actions you've taken. And what that amounts to is a feeling that each of you feels. You both feel something a lot stronger beating inside you now after tonight's events. A connection. And right now it feels like it's a bond with each other. You know that whether you meet up with Angel Deutscher again or this reprobate called Oscar, the two of you will be in each other's company probably very soon. For many adventures to come. And I think that pretty much concludes our first game together.
Yay! And actually, I've accomplished one of my deeds.
I have two.
Yeah.
I accomplished my long-term deed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Mine was to save someone's life, which I thought wouldn't happen in the first session.
I did. My short-term deed was heal someone, so I clearly got that. My long-term one is find a purpose. I don't think I'm quite there yet.
I'll probably just have to up it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I had known how disaster heavy the first episode was going to be, I probably would have done it as a short term.
Well, that's fine. I mean, sometimes that happens, and then I can find a new long-term one.
Yeah, that was fun. I'm enjoying this character.
Yeah, so am I.
So you tell me then about this, in terms of this plot, in terms of these characters, and indeed this may be the first time both of you have played Scion. I'm not sure, Eddie, have you played it yet?
For second edition, yeah, it's the first time I played second edition.
And I know we didn't explore every single nuance of the mechanics, but what did you feel worked, and what made it feel different, I guess, to any other game?
I think the story path in general, I like the fact that even though, yes, you are rolling and there are stakes that you roll for, I feel like I was rolling less. It was more narrative, which is nice. I like that some of the knacks are just things that you kind of naturally do or can happen. Even though, like, some of them do add to things. Like, one of my other ones adds to enhancement to a certain roles, things like that. But like I said, mostly for me with Scion, what I've always liked about it, and with story path in general, is just how narrative it is. It's super easy to pick up if you played like any storyteller system.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, you're right. We didn't go into some of the wrinkles of it, especially at the origin level. There's just not a ton of moving parts to be confused by when you start off with. It's like you roll dice and you have a couple of cool powers, and that's basically it, which is nice. It's just when you're starting out, you can like, okay, let me figure out how this works. And I felt like it allowed me a chance to kind of dig into the world a bit more, and like, for example, Dixie kind of corrected me. It's like, actually, no, we all know about gods here. It's kind of helped me to remind me of that.
Yeah, like setting it in the world is important.
No, totally. And it because there's not as many bits to learn, it didn't feel as potentially intimidating. But now it's like, cool, we got to handle these characters. Now, like we actually, when the feed was off, Dixie and I were kind of chatting about things we could pick up with when we go up to hero with experience points, because now we're finding there's the things we do with the character, and also we had the option of tweaking them in the rules, of moving dots around. So,
although I will say that when you said there was an Irish woman named Eileen, and she was the one who I saved, I was like, did I just save Eileen Bran, the Scion from the story?
No, this was an Eileen with an A at the front of her name. So it's always, I guess, fun to get a little bit of look around, I guess, the person running's shoulder, or what they were thinking. Initially, she was...
Lost him again?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Maybe he just froze for a second.
No. Yeah, I think we're done.
I don't know how to turn it off. Only Matthew can do that.
So it's live forever. Everyone, welcome to my life.
Yeah, as soon as I go to my other job in a couple hours here, you can just look at my empty bookshelf as it slowly gets darker.
Bookshelf watch. Occasionally, Bebop will go by.
Yeah, Rocky likes to sleep in my chair when I'm not here, so.
Well, thank you all for showing up. We appreciate it, even though it's been a bit of a moment.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but it's something on Matthew's end, it looks like. So.
But the upside is they only see me now. Hooray!
Wait, can they hear me?
Can you guys hear Dixie, or is it can you only hear me? Because otherwise this conversation gets really awkward. It's like, okay, so if we use this in a Pathcast, I doubt it, but right now someone just said press have to pay respects, and however it's pushing
Okay.
off.
They can hear me.
Okay. Oh, it is Matthew.
Matthew Dawkins joined this video call.
I'm back.
We're still live, so.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on, but we got most of the game in.
Right.
But yeah, so initially Eileen was supposed to be the person Oscar was actually stealing the necklace for, but plots change as games go on, and just because of who you interact with, more different things happen.
Mhm.
And I particularly enjoy Scion. Every time I've ran Scion, it's a great, fun, fluid game.
Mhm.
Players have a hell of a lot of fun with an axe, especially because they are, as Dixie said, they're so intuitive.
Yeah.
The thing that I'm always trying to work out different ways of getting people to access the powers more easily, and the powers in Scion and They Came From Beneath the Sea and other story path games that people I guess most often struggle to glomp onto is the stunts, because you kind of need to have in your mind the stunts you want to use,
Right.
to make it fast flowing. So it'll be interesting if we play this again whether we can start utilizing some of those. But I know for a fact what's going to happen with this broadcast is it's going to end itself very, very soon. I know that it will, because I'm supposed to be the host of it, and as I've just rejoined, the host is absent, and that means it will terminate itself. So with that in mind, thank you very much for watching. I suggest all of us just hang up. We all leave the call now.
Let's walk away.
And join us for the epilogue on the Onyx Pathcast, where we will talk about this in a little more detail. But thank you very, very much for watching and listening. It's been great fun.
Many worlds, one Pathcast.
Oh, well done, Eddie. Well done. Now we don't need to do the Onyx Pathcast bit. Brilliant.
It's up to you, really, to justify how you've been able to continue pursuing these little missions, these tasks or quests set for you by Dietrich, or even how willing you've been to do them. Ultimately, the thing that's drawn you most is the ties and demands of fate. There is a pressing need, a sort of niggling itch inside, behind your ear, as it were, that tells you that this is the right thing to do, even when it doesn't feel like a good thing to do. You don't think you've done anything immoral in her service, and you're not earning any money for it, and in fact, each time you've done it, people have been incredibly grateful. It has made you feel, to a degree, heroic.
Mm-hmm.
But you know that you are operating outside the realms of normal mortal human law, and that you're delving deeper and deeper into the known quantity, as expansive and sublime as it is, of the various divinities and faiths and myths that come to life in the world that you live in. Listeners should be aware, because sometimes this is the thing that is, I guess, least understood about Scion, that the world that you live in is not the world of darkness. It isn't a world where gods and monsters and myths are hidden away. There may well be an Aztec temple down the road, a block away from where there happens to be a church, or indeed a temple to Zeus, for instance. This world is fairly layered quite evenly on top of our own, and while the mundane mortal may not understand all of it, they certainly see it. And while scions of the gods are sometimes seen as heroes, they can also be seen as nuisances or villains, as is the case in comic book universes, such as the ones positioned by Marvel and DC.
Mm-hmm.
So everything they're doing isn't necessarily going to be completely undercover, but it still has to generally operate within parameters of the law, and they have not been doing that. They have committed some illegal activity.
Shocked.
Indeed, yes. So, yes, you have been summoned again to the Hotel Mandarin, or the Cabana Bar outside of it on South Beach. It is now 3 months since you last met, making it late August, so the weather is still damn good in Miami, if not oppressively so.
Tell me, what do your characters think of all this becking and calling?
I feel like my residency is pretty much ruined. But I suspect Kian is in an awkward stage of like society demands that if I want to be a healer, I have to go through this rigmarole of training and residency and whatnot, and he thinks that's valuable. But also being able to directly help people is intoxicating. So I think he's still reluctant, but more he's using that as a secretly he really enjoys it, and so he probably complains about it a lot, but he still keeps doing it.
You're just constantly bitching.
Right.
I want to do this again.
I got tests in 2 days.
Phaedra would be loath to admit it, but she is still living off daddy's money.
Mm-hmm.
So most of what she does right now is volunteer and nonprofit work as far as her kind of day job goes.
Yeah.
Which means that she is loving this because it kind of just gives her a break from everything. She's not really essential at any of her jobs. Like, frankly, she's one of those people who is, pretty smart, but as they say, doesn't apply themselves too hard to actual jobs. But this is fun. This is a fun, interesting new distraction. And she is very curious to see where this is going because she always kind of wanted something more than her life, because even though she had, she had money, but she didn't really have a whole lot of love and compassion growing up.
Yeah.
So she's curious to see where this leads and likes to feel useful, and she's feeling very useful for the first time in her life.
I'm definitely seeing a connection between our characters of both going, we know what society demands of us, but we're finding actual personal satisfaction in these tasks.
Yeah, exactly. Because she's the leader calling.
Mm-hmm.
So she's always kind of tried to be in charge of stuff and tried to do the right thing and make social change and everything, and she just always feels a little bit beat down by it, or feels like somebody else might be better at it.
Mm-hmm.
So she's actually finding something where she can take charge. I think that's something that happened during the hotel rescue and probably has happened in some of our missions since.
Yeah.
Is that she tends to be the take charge commander of the situation.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And she likes that. She likes feeling useful and helping people and, getting refugees to safety and stuff like that, because it's a lot different than just, standing up for someone who was being made fun of or whatever. This is real, actual, she can, hold it in her hands, making a difference in all caps.
Right. And it's with Kian's EMT training, he certainly understands, if someone's making the call, then you don't have time to sit and argue in the middle of a crisis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So in that case, it sounds like you quite willingly attend the meeting that Dietrich has set up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, on time for 3:00 in the afternoon, you head to the Nautilus Cabana Bar, where, of course, some fantastic salsa is playing in the background. Cocktails are being mixed. It's very hot, so a lot of cocktails are currently being imbibed by people sitting around on the beach. It's a beautiful party atmosphere, as is often the case on South Beach. It would seem that the tidal wave of 3 months ago has almost been forgotten. And that's certainly not reflected in the shape of the buildings on South Beach. Many of them still show the scars.
Okay.
If anything, it has driven business elsewhere throughout the city, which has benefited some people. But people have a way of making sense of the senseless and just soldiering on. And no more so in a place where alcohol flows so freely as Miami, where, we come here to party. We're not coming here to be morose. And while Rome burns, as it were, people fiddle. So, you arrive at the Cabana Bar and Dietrich isn't there. Now, you may remember Dietrich as the woman who initially threatened you with a gun. Yes. She was the person who claimed that Oscar had stolen a necklace of her father's. And, but you got on fairly good terms by the end of that scenario when you realised that Oscar was probably the bigger pest in this situation than her.
Good thing he's dead and will never come back to haunt us again.
Yeah, well, comic books and superhero stories never have recurring villains.
No.
So, no. She does show up 10 minutes late. Not very like her at all. She's typically quite punctual and is wearing large sunglasses and a very wide-brimmed hat. If she was trying harder to look inconspicuous, she would be wearing a Groucho Marx glasses, false nose and mustache. But she's...
And a trench coat?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it a red trench coat?
Yes, she looks like Carmen Sandiego right now.
Where in the world are the daughters of Poseidon?
Yes. South Beach, apparently, which, to be honest, sounds like a perfect place for the Daughters of Poseidon to be. First place I'd look for Carmen Sandiego. She takes a seat, looks around like this is some 1980s Cold War movie, and then whispers with a shaky voice. Thank you so much for coming at such short notice. I'm sorry I've not been in touch. There's been a lot going on.
Are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. As I say, there's been a lot going on. I know I've been absent for a month or so. So the things I've been asking you to do, they've all been above board, I guess, to a degree. They've all been for good reasons. I think we can all agree on that. And we've all made a lot of people very happy. And I have no doubt that your parents are very proud of you and all so on and so on.
Yeah.
Thing is, something personal came up. And I had to take my eye off the ball as far as you two are concerned. And from what I've heard, you've both been, keeping the end up, as it were. But I think I need your help with this something personal now. And I've got a feeling, I've got that itch that tells me that this might actually be what you've most needed to do of anything that I've set you to do so far. Believe me, that's not me trying to talk you into anything. I'll get to what the thing is in a minute. But, sometimes you feel like a course is right and I walked down the wrong one. It's like I fought against the tide and let's say I got smashed around the rocks a bit. So now I'm trying to head in the right direction. That means enlisting the two of you again.
Okay. How much do our characters know about fate at this point?
You know the feeling of it. You know how much Dietrich has told you of it. You don't know of it as any kind of tangible path that you can follow. She has certainly said that as you grow in power, you're going to see its strands far more keenly. But there's a certain euphoric rush that you felt when achieving certain tasks. And it's something you never felt before. It doesn't feel chemically induced. It doesn't feel unnatural. It feels like you are strengthening your core, as it were. Your soul is growing in brilliance every single time you do one of these things.
Okay.
So I'll cut to the chase, shall I? She orders herself a Bloody Mary. And then drinks it and says, right, I'll cut to the chase. Sorry, did the two of you want any drinks?
No, I'm good, thanks.
I'm okay for now.
Okay, sorry. So I have a cousin. I mean, a lot of us have cousins.
Yes, most people have cousins. What?
I care about this one a lot. And we've always been very close. But ever since I started mentoring you two, if you want to call it mentoring, I haven't been paying attention to him. And I'm gathering from what's happened that was the wrong thing for me to do. Believe me, I don't regret my involvement with you, but I couldn't be in two places at once. That's resulted in him consorting with the wrong crowd. Mm-hmm. As I say, something personal happened. Dion, that's his name, he was partying with a group
in Miami. They call themselves the Tattoo Lizards, and something I laughed as well. My mother always used to say, if a group is big enough to actually give themselves a name and not be laughed about on the street, they're probably quite dangerous. And that's what this group seems to be. They're based out of Model City, Liberty City, pretty rough neck of the woods, deeper in Miami. It's a neighborhood known for its violence, its gangs, and these Tattoo Lizards are one of these gangs. So when I found out about this from Dion's brother, another cousin, of course, I went looking for him, and I kind of went in a bit guns blazing because I've heard about these Tattoo Lizards. Hey, they're a dangerous gang to be around, and it wasn't the right course of action. I was lucky to escape with my life.
Wow.
Because I thought that I didn't need to enlist any of my friends to do this. I thought I'm going to make this a family matter, keep it personal, deal with it myself, and try and use a little of the old moxie that you get when you're a daughter of Poseidon, but it wasn't sufficient. I think there's a Scion, like you and me and him, named Ahui Itza. He's I think he's like the leader of this gang.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling he's got Dion. I don't know for sure. All I know is the last place Dion was seen was with this gang. And I wanted to send some trusted unknowns, that's the two of you, to find out where Dion might be, because I can't go back in there. And I have a feeling if they care enough, they'll probably have tabs on the people I usually hang around with. Given our fraternization's been pretty slim till now, I think that you're going to be able to go in, at least anonymously. All I really want to know is where Dion is. If you can get me a location, I can probably do the rest. But I just felt like I can't take this to the police. I can't enlist the people I'd usually enlist, people with a little more pep, because I'm guessing if Ahui Itza is aware of me and the people I hang around with, they're probably going to take steps to stop them. But the two of you look like, well, normals.
When she calls them normals, Phaedra narrows her eyes through, her multiple piercings and nose ring and like funky haircut. And she's like, she has clearly tried really hard to not look normal. Question, are our characters at all aware of this, gang or group of people, or is this the first we're hearing of them entirely? Do we have any knowledge?
Well, let's make a roll for that, shall we?
Yes.
I know we haven't assigned any contacts or anything like that, but I think that we could probably go with culture. Let's go for culture and either cunning or intellect, your choice.
I have some dice in that.
I forgot what the target number is for Scion.
For the benefit of listeners, they're aiming for 8s and above.
Thank you.
That's because we're not heroes yet. I have 0. No, one's don't cancel, so it's 1.
I have 2 successes.
Okay, well, 2 successes is sufficient. It's given that neither of you are criminals by trade, that you're not automatically going to recognize the name. But Faye, yeah, you've heard of them. You've heard of them as drug dealers and occasional gun runners. You've never interacted with them personally, because why would you? But you've definitely heard about them. Their names probably appeared on the news a couple of times, or you've had friends of friends that have bought something from them.
Right. Hanging out with street kids and punks and stuff. There's probably somebody that knows the bad people.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna look at Kine and say, these guys, from what I've heard, are pretty bad news.
Great.
If we decide to do this, we need to be careful about how we approach them, and where we ask questions. We probably should not be alone in a building with them if we can help it.
All right. Why would we? I mean, I suppose the only reason why to approach them is, are they drug dealers? I mean, we could patch this off as party kids.
I mean, we could. I pass better than you do, but we could rough you up a bit.
Oh, joy.
I mean, he looks like a red-headed jock. I'm sure they stop by and awkwardly ask for pot or whatever. This is Dietrich now eyeing you up and down. Again, don't get me wrong, that's not a criticism. My world is corporate and political. Going in there as I did was probably the most stupid thing I've ever done. Well, maybe not, but it was probably close. But yeah, the two of you could roll up just looking like customers.
Do you know where they're likely to be found or how we should identify them?
Yeah, I do, simply because that's where they hounded me out of. So I can point you to where in Liberty City I found... so I went up to one of the corner boys. My immediate approach was, I regret to say, threatening. I wanted to see the boss, Ahui, and the corner boy acted like I was, like he was doing me a favor, of course. I didn't believe him, but he got on the phone, sent what I'm guessing transpired to be a coded message, or enough people were watching that the response was pretty heavily armed and threatening in response. But I can certainly point you to that exact corner so that you don't have to take the same route that I did.
Okay. I'd ask if we should be armed, but I don't know anything about guns.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I would advise against it. I mean, if you've got to get in close to them, they're going to pat you down, I would imagine, anyway. And if you've gone in with a firearm, they're probably going to wonder why. True. At a guess.
So you've done a lot of dealing with gangs, I'm guessing?
Me? No, hardly any. I had to pull some strings to even find out about these guys. To be honest, I found out about them via reputation of Ahui, who is a known felon or former felon, and I then found out that he had a gang called the Tattoo Lizards that all tied back to where Dion had been in the city. It all kind of linked together. Now I don't know what Ahui might want with my cousin. He's just a bit of a dumb kid, but
is your cousin also a Scion, I'm assuming?
She lowers her head into her hands, takes her hat off, runs her fingers through her hair, exasperated. The reason he's been having such problems and hanging with the wrong crowd is precisely for that reason. It's not like he was hitting drugs or getting drunk before he found out about his parentage. So not everyone takes it very well, and I thought that he would have been able to, I guess, take it on the chin, maybe see it as something exciting. He sees the news, he reads the comic books,
right?
But he didn't. I think his world fell apart probably because he realized the person he thought was his dad wasn't actually his dad, and he spent a long time modeling himself on someone who wasn't who he thought he was, if that makes sense.
I've seen that happen with, normal mortal types. You find out something about your family's past and it can spiral you.
Well, yeah. Sure. Sometimes you make the mistake of thinking that because you got the blood of gods in your veins, you can stand up and take anything, and you underestimate people. And I'm not saying Dion's weak or anything like that. I just didn't think he would react that way.
Sure.
So, this is going to be fun.
So, just for out of character context, I have 0 dots in subterfuge and 1 dot manipulation, so I'm assuming Faye by now realizes that Kean sucks at lying.
Guess who also has 0 dots in subterfuge?
This is going to be amazing.
I've got lots of, persuasion and empathy and stuff. I don't have any, I do not lie either. Not well.
So this is going to be amazing.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
So now that we have that, it's like, okay, so we're sorry, Faye, if I'm talking in a turn here, but we're not good at lying.
Yeah, no, we're great.
I mean, that's partly why I've been working with you, because I've felt you very straightforward to deal with, and yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how do you even ask for drugs? Just go and say, I'd like a drug, please? I
mean, I could ask for specific drugs.
Oh, wow, I assumed that was something. Sorry, I again mean no offense. She puts her hands up. I assumed that was something you were familiar with looking at Faye.
No.
I know way more about drugs than she does, but primarily just because I have to treat them.
Yeah, I mean, I've dealt with getting people clean, but I didn't go with them to buy drugs.
What about selling them? Do you have any drugs left over from your trip down to Mexico?
No? Who keeps leftover What?
Well,
what kind of weird shit do you do?
I'm clutching at straws here. I understand. I don't necessarily have the best ideas in the world right now. I'm a bit personally preoccupied with what might be happening to my cousin or what has already happened.
If we're talking about trying to sell drugs, I mean, theoretically, I can say that I can get my hands on some drugs from the hospital I'm resident at.
You are going to steal drugs from a hospital.
No, I'm going to tell them that I can.
Oh, so you're going to lie.
I didn't say it was a good plan. I just said it was a plan.
Well, I suppose it isn't a lie if it is something you can do.
Well, yes, but I'm not going to do it. Because people need those drugs. That's why they're there in the hospital, for people who need them.
In that case, here's an idea, and maybe it's something I should have broached. As I said, the two of you are special as any other Scion would be, and at some point, everything's going to come clear to you. I can't control when that is, but it will happen. Now, a lot of Scions, when they are first emerging into the world, I guess, look for someone who's going to give them all the answers. Maybe that's why you're seeking out Ahui. Maybe you're going to him. Maybe you've heard of him.
Oh, I could ask him about that. I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
But that's a good idea.
Whoa. I'm not saying you actually follow his advice. If you have questions, you ask me.
I'm not saying I'm going to follow his advice. I'm saying that it would not be a lie to say I want to know more about this shit.
It's true.
Yeah.
I feel like, Dietrich, I've worked with you a few times now. I feel like you still think I'm a little stupid. And I don't like that.
I have this problem where I tend to see people who aren't at the same level as me. She puts her hand up next to her head. Kind of beneath me. And I'm working on that. I'm working on it.
Incredibly classist.
God privilege. Hashtag.
Hey, we are none of us perfect.
Check your privilege. Check your Scion privilege. All right. Okay, so Kian, I think we should go over there, talk to Ahui. Maybe see if we can even talk to, you said his name was Dion?
Dion, yeah.
That's right.
Talk to Dion, Kian. This is going to be fun. Yeah. Kian, Dion. Yeah, okay. So we'll talk to them, see if we can talk to him. Yeah, so cool. We just got to go in there and act like we're not terrified, because people can tell that you're terrified. You're terrified. Can you act not terrified by gang members with guns and possible powers?
Let's say yes.
Do that for me? Okay. We should probably change your clothes too.
Oh, okay.
It's gotta blend it, like a ratty t-shirt instead of this polo thing you have going on.
But the polo's comfortable. All right, fine.
Yeah, I think you probably want to look less like a tourist and more like some... Yeah, either someone who's there either on business or... Well, yeah, some kind of business, either buying, selling, or going for the discussion. But yeah, that polo, got to agree with Faye,
I will go with the whatever Faye recommends is my makeover.
Cool. So we'll stop at a thrift shop on the way.
Sweet. That is in my price range.
Okay, you stop by. Are you parting ways with Dietrich at this point?
Yeah, we've gotten directions. We know where we're going.
Okay, you pop by the thrift shop, pick up an outfit for Kian. Faye, I guess you're remaining as you are.
Yeah, she's already kind of grungy. She's wearing like some, ripped jeans and has like a, kind of ratty band t-shirt on with like a flannel tied around her waist or something. Like she's just... Mm-hmm. She could fit in anywhere that isn't like a high society function right now.
Yeah. So I imagine Kian gets one of those black T-shirts with those death metal bands for the logo you can't actually read what their name is on it. It's just all jagged angles for no apparent reason.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna get you an unreadable band T-shirt.
Yes. Just says rock band on it. Okay. All right, you make your way to Liberty City. So Liberty City is, unfortunately, one of the rougher areas in reality and in the world of Scion, of Miami. It's largely, unfortunately, criminal-ridden at this point. And it's one of the symptoms of being in an area that is not given a great deal of attention by the local government or education, or indeed any of the rest of the benefits that suburbia or the coast, in the case of Miami, gain. So you make your way into what was once known as Model City. And it doesn't take you long. I'm guessing you're... do you have a car, or are you getting a taxi? There is a metro. There is a metro in Miami, so you can get off at the station, of course.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Phaedra has a car though, because she comes from money. So
you get a few looks when you park up. You can see immediately that no one here is particularly shy about the fact that there may be some criminal enterprise at play. You've both seen enough TV shows to know what it looks like when there's a gang of people sat on a stoop and someone stood on a corner, another runner running across the lawn, that kind of thing. People shouting down from a second floor window. You know what's going on, and there's far too much of it going on for the cops to stop it constantly. It's just moving the trouble around. So there's immediately a sense of lack of safety when you get out of your car, out of the protection of that lightly armored vehicle. But people don't pay too much attention to you. Most of them are just paying attention to the car and the fact that you've parked it and are getting out.
Yeah. It's not a super nice car. She's not driving like a Mercedes or a Hummer or anything. That's like one of her little weird rebellion things. Is that like, yeah, she'll take the money for a car, but she's not going to take the high-end car. She just want to look like she has money. She's got hang-ups. What can I say?
So the car's kind of shitty looking.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a typical car. Like if it were my car in real life, it would make sense. I have like an 04 Saturn. You know, it's just like it's a car. It's not anything special. Anyway,
a kid runs up to Faye.
Oh,
excuse me, ma'am. Do you want me to watch your car?
No, I'm good.
You sure? There's lots of people around here. Might steal your wheels.
I'm good.
I do a pretty good deal. $10. I'll keep a watch on it. Scare anyone off.
Who do you work for?
I don't work for anyone. I'm my own boss. And he puffs his chest out.
He's an entrepreneur. I like that.
I love this kid. I mean, it's got an alarm. Fine,
do you say that out loud?
Yeah, I mean, like, I kind of like just confused because I've never had a child run up to me and like offer to watch my car before anywhere that I've been, and I'm just kind of like befuddled. Like, it's got an alarm. I don't understand. I'm like looking at Kian to see if he understands what's going on.
Shrug.
Look, if the alarm goes off, it's just going to draw more people to it quickly. It's not like the cops are going to turn up because an alarm's going off in a neighborhood like this. Ma'am, give me the $10.
If you call me ma'am one more time, I will punch you in the face.
He frowns at that and says, Whatever. $10, please.
I give him $10.
He says, thank you very much. I'll make sure your car doesn't get ripped apart.
Do you know anything about Ahui or the tattoo lizards?
He raises an eyebrow at you.
That's not an answer, kid.
Yeah, sure, but who's asking?
Me, right now, in front of you?
Yeah, I get that. Who are you to be asking?
Someone who is pretty sure they're like him and would like to learn more about that.
Nice, very smooth.
He frowns again and says, so you don't want me to watch your car?
What?
What?
Look, I can go and get one of the lizards for you if that's what you're here for. I'm not going to point you to where they are or anything.
Oh. Okay, well, in that case, the $10 is now for you to go get one of them for us. And we'll watch the car.
He shrugs, fine, and runs off.
You're never going to see that money again.
I don't care. It's $10.
That's like a day's meal.
I mean, that's like a coffee at Starbucks. It's fine.
You go to Starbucks?
I just won't have a coffee today.
Wow.
Of course I go to Starbucks. Wow.
This small talk continues for about 2 minutes before another kid turns up in a long vest. The one you sent away has not returned. He says, is it the two of you looking for the lizards?
Yeah.
He folds his arms. What do you want?
We want to talk to Ahui about stuff.
Well, Ahui's pretty far up the food chain. Yeah, gonna need to be more specific. It's not like he just greets people off the street.
As I told the other kid, we're just looking for him because he's one of the only people that we've ever seen that might have some similar history as we do, and we want to learn more about it, and we were hoping that he would talk to us. We're not trying to get involved in their business or anything. We just want to know more about our kind of condition.
Oh, you're one of them. And he claps his hands together. That's cool as fuck. Can you fire fireballs out of your eyes or anything like that yet?
No, it's pretty new. We kind of learned about. Do you remember that big flood tsunami thing from a few months ago?
Yeah, I remember that. You could. Some people said they could see some big old bearded guy in the water throwing lightning and spitting out tornadoes and that kind of shit.
Yeah, we saw that too. So we were at the Mandarin Hotel when that happened, and we kind of stopped that from happening. Like, we're the ones that stopped the thing.
True.
South Beach, huh? And he looks you up and down. You don't dress like you're from South Beach.
I'm not from South Beach. I was in town for a punk show.
I'm from Boston.
Boston. Yeah, right, I see. Yeah, okay. You're not here for the way most people come here. All right, I'll make a call to see whether he's interested. Likelihood is he's not gonna be, because he doesn't just, again, offer walk-in appointments. He's not a counsellor. I
mean, I can pay him.
Okay, now we're probably talking. So expect me to come back with some kind of price tag, and I'll see what I can do.
That works for us.
He gets his phone out.
Turn and look at Faye again. How much money do you have?
Enough.
I never have enough money.
He comes back. Okay. He says he's going to be working in cash because he doesn't have a PayPal or anything like that.
Who doesn't have a PayPal? Oh, fine. All right, fine.
Everyone uses Venmo anyway. It's fine.
I use the Cash App, but whatever.
Oh, he has just got one of those, actually. He just keeps forgetting. A Cash App. One of us talked him into it. He's a bit long in the tooth, but yeah, don't worry. We can hook you up with that. All right. I'll take you to where you need to be. It's going to cost you, though. You're going to be setting yourself back by at least $1,000 a piece.
That's fine. Let's go.
His eyes widen. Damn, should have asked for more than that.
It is worth it to me to find out about myself.
Yeah, sure, whatever. And he takes you up into a small block of flats. Elevator is, of course, out of use. He takes you up some stairs. There's a few people give him nods. You can see, as you're going increasingly into the neighborhood, that more and more people here have got tattoos of lizards in a... You're not sure whether it's Mesoamerican, South American style, but you've definitely seen this kind of thing before on the Discovery Channel. Tattooed around their necks, their arms, their torsos. Without a doubt, you're identifying it as some kind of gang insignia. And he gives a knock on the door, and it opens. A young woman opens it. And she says, looking at you, "Are these the two of them?" He says, "Yeah, that's the two of them." They say they can pay him by Cash App. And she says, he's awful at using that. And we need to get him into the 21st century, Marie. Yeah, whatever. Okay, come on in.
All right, lead the way.
You're ushered into a pretty well-appointed flat. It's got all the furnishings of a drug lord's expectation when in a pretty downtrodden inner-city apartment. So you've got some gaudy artwork on the walls, mirrors, beaded curtains, that kind of thing. But you don't get the impression this is going to be where any kind of deals take place. This is his private residence.
Right.
And sitting in front of the TV with a big cigar in his mouth is a large man. You could say he's shaped like a ball. Probably the only thing that's particularly noticeable about him in terms of angularity is his nose, which is shaped a bit like a hatchet. He's watching some sports on the television, looks up at you, takes the cigar out of his mouth, and says, "So you're the newcomers, are you?"
Sure.
Yep.
Grab a beanbag. He points you towards some beanbags in the corner.
I'll grab beanbag and sit down.
Yep. We'll grab beanbags and I guess sit near his feet like supplicants because that's what he seems to want.
Yeah. And he looks at you, puts the cigar back in his mouth, takes another puff, chews on it, and says, "So what is it you're wanting to know about being Scions?" And that's where we're going to end that episode.
Okay.
Awesome.
So I suppose we should still do the good old-fashioned where to find us, shouldn't we?
Oh, yes, that's right. Sorry.
Sure.
I was so wrapped up in the game. Dixie, if people wanted to find you and talk to you about Phaedra, where would they find you at?
You can find me at Dixie Cyanide on almost all social media or my website, dixiecochran.com.
And Matthew?
They can find me on MatthewDawkins.com, on Twitter as Clack Click Bang.
And you can find me at pugsteady.com, Pugsteady. You can also find all of us at theonyxpath.com. You can leave comments on the blog where you found this episode. You can find this episode just about any podcatching app. If you can, rate and review us. We'd really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this, give us 5 stars. If you have comments, let us know what you think, particularly on the Podbean app. And otherwise, you can check us out on Discord, on Twitter, what have you. And we'll see you next week. And as always, many worlds, one Pathcast.